Everybody knows that I'm breaking down. Everybody knows I ain't faking now. Everybody knows my heart's vacant now. Yeah, she hates me now, I made mistakes but now I don't ever wanna be alone. I don't really ever feel at home. On my own, in the zone, that's the only way I know. Feeling low, about to blow back up. Here I won't ever let the doubt creep in. Gotta pop a couple more aspirin. I don't think I'll ever let you in. Easier to break it off best friends. I don't really understand myself. I don't really understand, need help. I don't wanna be left on the shelf. Couldn't even hear me if I yelled. It's so cold outside, I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside, I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold. Break down, always feel like I could break now, but I never let it take me to that place now. I won't ever let my thoughts get away now. I got better things to do, picking fate now. I just wanna be the best, call me great now. I don't know if I'm okay or insane now. I remember better days on the playground, hoping I can find my way. Even when I'm feeling down, I fight. Even when I don't know what is right, I'ma pick a side and I'ma take pride. I will decide my fate and I will never let them tell me who I am. If you try to shake me, I'll be damned. Planet on the ground is where I stand. Never give up, that was always the plan. It's so cold outside, I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside, I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold.
Like me when it was over. One more day of sorrow and I'll struggle to stay sober. Hope to see you later when I get older. I still remember the smell of your perfume. It hasn't left me since the day you made me blue. I think I saw you but I know I'm not supposed to. I must be dreaming cause I don't believe in ghosts, yeah. Like me when it was over. One more day of sorrow and I'll struggle to stay sober. Hope to see you later when I get older. I still remember the smell of your perfume. It hasn't left me since the day you made me blue. I think I saw you but I know I'm not supposed to. I must be dreaming cause I don't believe in ghosts, yeah. Ghosts, yeah. Ghosts, yeah. I must be dreaming cause I don't your perfume. It hasn't left me since the day you made me blue. I think I saw you, but I know I'm not supposed to. I must be dreaming, cause I don't believe in ghosts, yeah. Do you remember a day in October? The leaves were falling just like me when it was over. One more day of sorrow and I'll struggle to stay sober. Hope to see you later when I get older.
Where are you going? Going so fast tonight. Have you ever stopped beside the road to smell the rose of life? Take a breath now. Don't hold it in too long, cause you might end up missing out on life's short little song. She's saying, ooh, you've got one life to live. She's singing, ooh, you've got one life to live, don't let it go. Ooh, you've got one life to live. She's singing, ooh, you've got one life to live, don't let it go. You've got one life to live, don't let it go. Can you let go of it all tonight? Or will you decide to push on through and ignore the words inside? Take a breath now, don't hold it in too long, cause you'll find you're missing out a life's short little song. She's saying, ooh, you've got one life to live. She's singing, ooh, you've got one life to live, don't let it go.
Hello there, ABL fans, observers, snipers, whatever the heck you guys are doing today. Sniping as in, like, obviously gonna scout out the adverse. Tonight we have Guardian Schism, of course, and here I have today is me, Mighty Rai, of course, and Audio Adrenaline. We're both trading out. Yeah, we're both gonna trade, by the way. I'm gonna do color casting and Audio's gonna play by play. Oh wait, I'm so late here. They're doing draft right now, and I think they actually went. Yeah, they went really fast with the draft. But either way, let's go into it. Let's put on that music there. And Guardian Esports, ranked 7 in the standings, versus SKZ Esports, ranked number 2 in the standings. So let's see what Guardian has against one of the top tier teams. So right now we got Fiorban, Jace Band, Misfortune, and Zyra Band, which are pretty much that went through, and the Yasuo will follow up. And I feel like Vladimir or never mind, it's gonna be a Zoe. And the bans are a lot different right now. If I feel like the bans are a lot different, because normally you see what, like Swain bans, Vladimir, Kaisa bans, who else? But just like the most highest rated ban rate when it comes to team compositions. I've seen it in other leagues as well, but here I've never seen a Jace ban at all. I hardly see Fiora, maybe like once or twice, and Yasuo sometimes, on a rainy day. And then on the other side, Zoe obviously gonna get banned out. Zyra also, I've seen it once and twice. And Misfortune, I've actually never ever seen Miss ban either way. So this just tells me that both sides of the teams, they run completely different champions from everyone else who are just trying to stick to the meta. That means we might see something a bit off meta. The Nocturne picked up, which is not something off meta. I've seen that a couple of times and it's still pretty strong. Yeah, I believe so. I mean, the Ornn gets banned out. Shen is banned out as well. Vladimir is a possible flex between top and mid and ADC, but I'm pretty sure that Vladimir was the ban for the mid laner, so they can pick their top laner and then flex their mid at the end for SKZ Esports. And Vladimir is one of those that is really hard to deal with, so is the Nivea. I mean, I believe not that hard to deal with, but very much annoying when it comes to fights, when you want to close down your enemies in small corridors, narrow entrances, and you want to try to like get all your lumped up together as much as possible. But at the same time, Guardian Esports do have the recon, just really good at that. It also makes Schism things twice whenever they want to try to fight in small spaces. Darius is gonna be picked up, and the Azir is going to be picked up now, and I haven't seen Azir in this new meta at all, so I'm really much interested on how this Azir is going to be played out. So now it goes back to the question of what SKZ Esports is going to last pick here for their to pretty much counter or just do team composition. I'm not sure about Heimer. I think Heimer is like one of those solo laners on the mid side. You're going to want to make them push on some other lane, and the Galio will be the last pick. Pretty tanky as well. Works really well with the Camille, by the way. That is a huge combination there that you don't want to mess with, or you don't even want to pretty much you don't want to get caught up in that kind of Hextech ultimatum and the Galio's here with entrance.
is being bought up anymore, and we're kind of seeing these champions rise in popularity that are good on just one or two items and are able to snowball the game. So we'll see, kind of this old versus the new meta and who's able to really keep this or perform their composition better.
Yeah, so far, let's go ahead and relapse on what we just saw on the picks and bans. I still have Hearthstone up, and I was still playing, but it was stuck in buffering mode, so
Wow.
we could have been hearing
This
some
is the
Hearthstone
League
in the
of Legends
background.
stream.
Yeah, I know. So on the top side, we got EA Season 8 DLC on the Darius, and then we got Sinjuani for GE Fed 1, Azir for GE OG Barracuda, and then we got Ezreal for Mr. Wish, and the Rakan for GE Pretty Boy. So that kind of matchup is pretty good. I don't care what people say about that. What was that website? I saw it on the general chat somewhere.
Pro Draft?
No, not Pro Draft. The other draft, teamcomp.com, something like that. Yeah,
I have not heard of it.
I don't even care about teamcomp.com because it goes through an analyst, like, oh, your team's supposed to win, but everything comes down to player experience and style and finesse and all that other good stuff.
We're all about the style here in the ABL. And for anybody that's watching that might be newer, it's just a little confused, we are using prodraft.leagueoflegends.com. It's a site where you can kind of simulate a draft phase, just first pick whatever champions, all champions are available, and so it allows teams to pick their compositions and not have to worry about, all right, does our mid laner own this champion, can he first pick someone else? So we did do the draft beforehand, and now that we are in the lobby, that's why the champions were picked so fast, and we kind of already knew what they were. So that's what's going on here. But we do have all of our champions locked in now with their summoner spells picked. We do see D-Loon running teleport in the mid lane as opposed to Azir Marika with this Ignite. Not exactly something I expected to see, the Azir running Ignite. Azir definitely a little bit more of a scaling champion, and Ignite is kind of that lane pressuring summoner spell, and I don't really see that Azir, unless he gets some cheesy level 1 to 3 fights off, being able to really use that Ignite to kill the Galio.
Yeah, so right now, Saya and the Morgana pick, that's a dynamic duel, much as Kai'Sa Morgana or Caitlyn Morgana. It's such a, Morgana actually fits in with any ADC, let's be honest here. It's just the Black Shield. The Black Shield just destroys any CC. They don't have that many CC on the side of GE though. The only thing that the Black Shield is going to be able to block is going to be the Khan's Grand Entrance and then the quickening. The quickness right after. And it could also block Glacial Prison. But it's all depending on Bloxican, which I'm going to butcher his name, to get the Black Shield on top of the target as necessary. Gaudier already has his own spell shield. Camille can also cast a Hextech Ultimatum in the middle or during, while the Glacial Prison is on its way towards Camille. And then Galio, you don't want to use it on Galio's tank.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a lot of options for these teams in team fights. We kind of mentioned the submarine composition that Schism has put together, and then there is, there's a decent amount of pick potential as well. For Guardian Esports, you have the Sejuani Ultimate that you were talking about, as well as the Rakan, but those are kind of the only two available for them. And we do have Black Skin on the Morgana with that spell shield, so it's really going to be down to him. If he's able to hit those spell shields on the right target consistently, then he can just really single-handedly shut down all of the engaged that Guardian Esports has and deny them that front-to-back team fight that they want. So I'm definitely going to be keeping my eye on the Morgana specifically towards the mid to late game to see how well she's able to protect her carries.
Yeah, so right now, spectator delay with just one more minute to talk, maybe a bit more, and then after that, we're going to get onto the main screen, and then a secret, spectator delay wait timer in the game itself. but I want to keep on going with the conversation. Nocturne, I want to know this. He doesn't block vision from his own teammates, right?
No, he blocks vision of the. He blocks enemy vision of allies, so you can still see the area around you. But you are no longer able to see allies except within a really small distance. It's like the size of a grave smoke screen. Like you can see allies within that radius, but outside of that, you can't see allies or enemies. I think it's just champions. You can't see them, so that can be definitely dangerous in a fight if that Nocturne just like waits a couple seconds while he's using it. All of a sudden, the enemy team. They don't know who's getting engaged on. They don't know how healthy their allies are, if they have the numbers advantage, if they don't. It can be a really great tool for causing a lot of confusion in a team fight. But then obviously the second part of it, Nocturne diving in, and he can kind of bring in the rest of the team with him, kind of acting as that submarine for the Gallia with the Morgana Black Shield and the Spell Shield. So he can actually block like 2 or 3 spells with that combination, which can buy him a lot of time to blow up a squishy target.
Yeah, so right now, in the loading screen, what is the potential of a 5-man invade? I honestly don't see any potential at that right now, besides maybe Fed One taking the front and getting a good Arctic assault onto one of its targets. And Blocks Again is actually one of the good ones too. For an early invader, they want to do that along with the Camille's hook shot if they decide to do that. But Camille's hook shot, I don't think, getting that on your first level would be a good idea against a Darius on the top side. And interesting enough, God King Darius has hit the board on the Rift. I love that skin. That skin just looks so good. Like, I wish I can have it, but I can't.
I want that one too. I think I voted for God King Garen, so I think that'd be the skin I get. But speaking of skins, both sides rocking 3 skins. So we are tied in that aspect, but Guardian Esports not only has the new God King Darius skin, but also the ultimate Pulsefire Ezreal skin. So 1 point Guardian Esports, and they're up in this series. I don't know if Schism can recover.
Yeah.
They've won the level 0.
When you get into rifts and your skins count as points, but those points don't matter. So
no, they're the only thing that matters. The games are what don't matter.
Oh, okay,
we only play the games as a way to show off the skins.
Yeah, and we are seeing a 5-man invade right now. So EA Season 8 has to be careful.
I'm not even in the game. Go ahead and guess this one.
Wait, you were in the lobby, right?
I'm in the loading screen still.
Oh no! First your
I see a pause.
First your battle royale flag, and then now your league.
Let's not talk about my battle royale. Let's not talk about that.
I was watching your stream like a few minutes ago, and yeah, I didn't even know you were diamond too as well in that.
Yeah, I've gotten pretty good at that game. But we are here to talk about League of Legends, and at least on my screen, we're on a pause.
Yeah, my screen too. We're both on a pause. What second did yours landed on, by the way? Mine's on the 41.
I am right now at 29 minutes and 12 seconds. I'm speeding it up.
Oh, no, that's the pause remaining. I'm talking about like where it landed on the...
Oh, 41 seconds.
Okay, and then it just went to 28:59.
Yep.
So
we are synced up. Synced up and ready to go. Our watches have been synchronized.
That's weird though. Why did it not load up your... Actually, not too weird. It would happen to me sometimes as well, where everyone's already like more than halfway across the map, and then the game just all of a sudden loaded up. So
yeah, spectator delay can be a little buggy sometimes. But it looks like we are waiting. Guardian Esports support, so Pretty Boy on that Rakan had that dank 1000 ping, according to Azir. So some latency issues there for Pretty Boy. Hopefully he's able to resolve those. Right now he's just chilling at the Raptors.
Rakan with lag is horrible because, even if you slam your head on the keyboard, it's still gonna be like a few seconds late.
Yeah, that's a 3 or 4 second delay on everything he does. So that's definitely feel bad. I'm over here rocking this 7 ping though. Talk
Oh,
about that for
yeah.
a second.
I have 7 ping too. Yeah.
Oh, I might just be frozen then. Dang, I thought my internet just like miraculously got 10 times better there.
No, I don't think it takes too much internet to have spectator mode on. Normally, I even say 0, but it's like, how's that even possible, you know? But it takes up most of your frames, though, because I can run the game by over 100 frames. Then when I start streaming, it takes it down to like 60 or 70. But then when I spectate and stream, it takes it down to like under 30 sometimes. But since I
Wow.
bought this mini fan, though, that's cooling off my system, I don't know, I've been getting pretty good frames now.
Well, that's great. I'm glad you got that figured out. Pretty Boy did disconnect from the game. Hopefully we can get him back in here soon.
Probably
But you were
through his
talking about
router.
that 5-man. Is that all 5 members of Schism that I see sitting in that top bush?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, I don't see any other circles with a champion's face anywhere on the mat. They're all bundled up there. And guess who's taking up the entire, space there, which is the Morgana. And you know that Morgana is up in front with the Dark Binding ready to go. Bloxicon
Well-
is actually the first one to come out of the vision, too, hugging the wall.
Well, we will see here if EA Season 8 DLC decides to go check that bush. If he does, he might be in for a rough time. Because Schism is having a party and he is not invited.
It's the party buzz for Schism Esports. They're on their way, and they're just gonna run you over like roadkill. That's what they're gonna do.
Absolutely. And I had heard you ask in the Champ Select, what are the odds of the 5-man invade? And well, I guess you got your answer. The odds are 100% that we are going to get a 5-man here in the ABL, especially last season. I know it really hasn't been as prevalent this season, but last season we were on track for the 5-man invades. But here we go. Blackskin pushing in, throws out the Dark Binding. Doesn't happen to connect on this one. They did see Darius, though. And now Season 8 DLC will realize that all 5 members are there. They will back away. Pings will come out. And Pretty Boy gets to move up into the enemy blue, place down some vision. So net positive there for Guardian Esports.
I know for a fact is that I was checking on the movement speed. I was wondering why Bloxicon couldn't get anywhere near EA. EA has 345 movement speed versus Bloxicon's 335. So, not
Yeah.
being able to get caught out there that easily.
Darius does have that high base movement speed, helps him out there. But we will see some pretty standard starts here. Both junglers starting on their bottom side with both bot laners leashing, doing a pretty good leash, although Gaudier getting a little bit lower than Fed1 did on this clear. And now we're just going to see Season 8 DLC most likely pressuring this top lane, but Bacon is able to get a good trade back on him. Now Pretty Boy goes in with the W. Doesn't do a whole lot. Dirty isn't able to get much damage down on there. Well, Ikea turns around and slaps him with a couple of auto attacks of his own. Now D-Loon's got to be careful. He's standing right there in the soldiers. Gets taken down to about half health. Good pressure by him.
So right now, pretty standard on the side of both junglers. The only thing that is a bit different is that I believe GE knows where Gaudier is because of the 2 wards deep inside while they were busy trying to get the freight train down on the top side for the early invade there onto EA, try to get the kill on top of him. Nocturne has already started on the red buff, so while
one thing they do know is that he did not decide to go over for the blue buff. They did have a ward on their own blue buff. So with that knowledge, Fed1 was able to do, a much more complete clear. But here we have Season 8 DLC wanting to go in on Bacon. Hits the Q almost at max stacks of the bleed. Bacon hook shots back in. Darius has his passing now, but it might not be enough. First blood goes over to Bacon on the Camille.
A bit of aggressive mistake there from Season 8. I believe he shouldn't have just played that aggressive, especially not giving up the lead. And look at
Binding
Rakan
now, down onto the Rakan, gets ignited, and Blackskin is going to pick up that kill. That was a nice shot. Pretty Boy goes a little bit aggressive there in the minion wave and gets punished for it.
I believe he thought he could just battle dance back onto Mr. Wish, but Mr. Wish was a bit out of range there for the battle dance, so Bloxican took full advantage. The blade collar was on cooldown, but it was not even needed. The dark binding was just enough with the ignite on the follow-up, and a good thing Pretty Boy only used the grand entrance to try to save his life instead of panicking and using the flash. But the only panic thing that happened there was Mr. Wish using the heal, which was not good enough. So that's already one summoner spell down for the side on GE's bot lane for Mr. Wish. And Bloxican, sure, his ignited may be down, but it's low on cooldown as well, so he's going to be able to get that back up very much soon.
Yeah, definitely the heal down is the big thing for Dirty, although he is an Ezreal, one of the probably the safest ADC there is. So just a trade of summoner spells, but also the kill going over, although Ikea hasn't been able to back to pick up that gold. So if Fed1, is able to get down here before he gets, goes back and spends that gold advantage, things should be okay. We see him heading towards his bot side now, but...
And Gaudier, on his first back, he's going to buy a control ward. He's going to get into the Hunter's Blade, I believe, because he did get the Saber. Wait, Sabri? What? How do you say it? I misspoken.
The Skirmisher Saber.
Okay, this is called Saber.
Yes.
What? I think Netflix has it wrong then.
Netflix?
Yeah, I was watching Fate Night. Good anime. But
okay.
Warrior's Blade is going to be built up on Nocturne, which is good. Sometimes I see that attack speed one. I forgot the name of it already because I'm already...
Blood Razor.
Yeah, the Blood Razor. So normally I do see Blood Razor built up on Nocturne. The attack speed, very good on the wave clear, but Saber does about the same thing as well for the Warrior's Blade. So it's actually pretty dang good for Nocturne there. The control ward is going to be used to defend Lun, I believe. No, he's just going to place down a regular ward, and maybe he might use that control ward later on to try to get a sneak somewhere else.
Yeah, Gaudier wanting to go for a little more of that burst potential with the Warrior enchantment instead. But now Dilum and Gaudier starting to group up, going for a little bit of vision in Fed1's bottom side jungle. But Mr. Wish playing a little far forward. Might get hit by a binding here. Bacon level 6 might want to go in on Season 8 DLC. Can drop the aggro of the tower, pokes him down to about half health. But knows he doesn't have anybody nearby to help him out. And doesn't have vision on Fed1, so I don't think he wants to take this right now.
There goes the aggressive control ward too from Gaudier. He put it down right outside of that red buff.
But we do see some really good vision control from Schism down on this bottom side. They're definitely going to be wanting to focus down there. Keep an eye, I see D-Loon now has level 6. I saw he was hovering down towards the bottom side. But once Gaudier hits that level 6, expect him and D-Loon to start grouping up and roaming together to make use of that passive. But now Fed1 is sitting here in the wings. Bacon doesn't know he's here, uses the hook shot, has to flash away, but is going to get stunned up by the Sejuani, and Darius dunks him into the afterlife.
That is patiently waiting Fed1 on the side of GE there. He waits in that brush. He knew it wasn't warded. There was a control ward that he did not even place out himself. I believe that was EA Season 8 who invested on that control ward. So that way his jungler can just roam up to the top side and just, wait till that kind of fight happened. And honestly, the way I saw Fed1 waiting, he was waiting for the hook shot to be used up first. So that way the only thing he has to worry about is the flash. But not too worried there, and here comes an engage.
The submarine, Gaudier ults in, doesn't even need the Galio ultimate, and they just destroy Azir there. Gaudier able to block the wall pushback with his spell shield, so you can just see, even with that one spell shield, how effective that combination is. But now Dirty getting rooted up, might get hit by the Blade Caller as well. The turret goes down, and so they can fight this. Ultimate comes out from Xayah as well from Blackskin. Mr. Wish got ignited, he's gonna go down, and now it's 2v1. Can Pretty Boy get out with Blackskin whiffs the binding, and so the bottom lane of Schism is going to back off. But that's another kill going over to this bot lane. Is Xayah now not only a kill ahead, but also almost 25 CS. She has a massive lead.
Now, before SKZ tries to get, that was awkward. He thought
I don't know where you're going, Bacon. You gotta hit a wall first.
maybe look big enough to look like a wall. But right now, I believe SKZ, they have to take the Mountain Drake. They have to take it before they can rotate up to the top side. They can definitely, Zaya and the Morgana can definitely dominate EA because of the bindings and just everything, basically.
D-Lune unable to find Borikwa here. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
I say Barracuda.
Barracuda. We'll see. I'll find out from him after the game. But we do see Schism going on this Mountain Dragon, as you'd mentioned. They have complete control over the pit. Season 8 DLC says, "Hi, how are ya? Get out of my face." Slaps Bacon. That Q almost able to one-shot that wave there. Once he gets to that point, Darius is gonna have some good wave clear. But I would see Ikea and Blaxican deciding to stay in this bottom lane in their advantageous matchup. Think about the lane swap. A lot of the times when you use it, it's either to get your AD carry to pick up more gold or to get one of your laners out of a bad matchup. But we do see, you know, Ikea is picking up plenty of gold in this bottom lane. He's almost 30 CS up over Mr. Wish. And Bacon up here is holding his own against Darius, so they really don't need to pull off the lane swap right now. Instead, they're just going to go down there, get some more pressure, secure that Mountain Drake, and now we're going to see Ikea coming up to this top side. He's gotten enough from bottom lane, wants to go pick up that gold turret, or that turret gold, and Bacon will go down bot to try to defend.
Might even be able to kill the Darius too, because we do see D-Lune roaming around with Gaudier and Bloxican. Bloxican might go up onto the top side. There is a control ward in the tri-brush as well, and
they were spotted on a ward in the river, but Gaudier and D-Lune both have their ultimate, so it may just be too late. Season 8 DLC has to back off. We see the rest of Guardian Esports moving up. That one pesky ward in the river might have just saved Season DLC's life, and might spell disaster for Schism. The rest of the team here is waiting in the wings, waiting for the dive. They did see the passive from Sejuani go on to Darius, so that might have tipped off Schism.
Yeah, but Schism also on the wait there in the brush, waiting to see who is going to come up. That is going to be Mr. Wish.
Mr. Wish
is looking to be in trouble. Yeah,
He's
takes
able
up
to
the
arcane
damage.
Shift out of the root collar there at the last second. Almost goes down. That was scary.
Not scary enough though. Looks like Fed1 just rotating down to the bot lane. Didn't find too much here on the top side, and I didn't expect him to find too much on the top side right now, because EA has to play pretty much careful.
Wants to go in for the fight. Bacon uses the hook shot, chunks about half his health down, but Season 8 DLC pulls him back into this Sejuani ultimate. He is gonna go down. The teleport is canceled from D-Lune, was channeling that one. That was very well played by the duo there, the jungler and the top laner. Bacon tried to, juke away from that glacial prison, but Season 8 DLC pulls him back into it, able to secure the kill and get the teleport out of the mid laner in the process. So great turnaround for them.
And it looks like Schism is looking to get the rift here. Pretty Boy is on the side from the side of GE. Has to check this rift though. I mean, he has the ability to, move around the map, but it looks like he's just not going to be able to. But the dark binding over the wall, which missed on Pretty Boy, just tells the tale that Schism is already on the rift. And obviously, Gaudier having the Warrior's Blade fixed up and ready to go, it was fairly simple for him to just do enough damage there. And here is GE gonna pick up their first tower here. Bacon is standing in the back. He doesn't want to get 2v1'd again, because for surely he can win his 1v2. 1v1, but not the 2v1. That's a bit too much for him.
Yeah, and Schism definitely coming out on top after that trade. Guardian Esports does get the Rift Herald as they see Fed1 going down to that bot lane to help pick up that kill. But, until we see if they are able to get anything off of that Rift Herald, maybe a tower or two, I do give that trade over to Schism Esports as they got the kill and the actual turret. But Darius now backing, able to get, a little bit of resistances, got those ninja tabbies, as well as working on a Triforce, it looks like, as his first item. Picked up the Stinger there for some attack speed. Now we see the teleport coming in to defend the mid lane turret. Dark Binding does land there onto Borakua. And the Rift Herald is popped, but with nobody there to support it, it is going to go down without doing too much. Shelly was able to get a good chunk, but not enough. So Rift Herald kind of wasted.
Yeah, and Schism understands the fact that, yeah, they have a bit of a lead, but not too much of a lead to be able to tower dive this composition that GE has. Their composition will rely on the enemy coming at them first, and the Dark Binding does land, but that actually secures the tower because of that Dark Binding under Pretty Boy. Pretty Boy couldn't even get a grand entrance to Quickening Engage, nor even flash in. He couldn't do anything to try to stop Schism Esports from taking that mid tower.
Yeah, well hit by Blaxican. We talked about how he is going to be so quintessential in these fights, whether he can hit his engage and hit his bindings on the correct targets. You see him now just waiting in the wings, daring anybody to move up to try to check the jungle. Says, no, this is my jungle now. It doesn't belong to you anymore. These are my wards and my camps.
Well, let's talk about items right now. Cinderhulk is built up along with the Ninja Tabbies on Sejuani. That is pretty standard. We've already talked about the Warrior's Blade, and Charaded Blade is actually built up on the Nocturne there. I forgot what goes to that Charaded Blade, but it can be a Ghost Blade, could be Dust Blade, could be just anything that goes with it. Triforce is finally built up for Camille on Bacon, and EA falling behind, only has Ninja Tabby. He's not able to complete an item just yet, so that just tells me that he's pretty far behind. He does have 900 gold in his back pocket, has a Stinger,
a pause here,
and a Phage. He's also going for a Triforce. Is that possible?
Yeah, he will be building a Triforce out of that. Gives him a little bit more burst potential, a little bit more dueling potential, but also does have a little less survivability. But when you look at the composition of Schism, it starts to make a little bit of sense because Black Cleaver, it's really good for extended duels, and it's typically built against some of these bruisers in this top lane, people that are going to stack some form of armor. And Camille really doesn't build defensive until maybe her last item or two. The only real tank you have on the side of Schism is Dilun on the Galio, but he's going to want to stack magic resist, not armor, to fit with his passive. So Season 9 DLC deciding he doesn't really need the armor shredding and decides to instead go for a build that will allow him to win these shorter trades against these squishier Bacon in the 1v1 lane.
And don't forget the Abyssal Mask that Dilun also has. It's pretty defensive there. That's actually very much a standard build as well. Abyssal Mask is one of the first items that you have to get on Galio, and if not, it'll be like the Route of Ages, which is also another pretty standard build path. Storm Razor, another, honestly, like Xayah only works well with Storm Razor and Rapid Fire Cannon. There's really no other paths to that at all, unless someone else has already tested that out. Magical Boots is already built. Actually, it's free.
They will be trying to take this Ocean Drake here. Ikea does use the Root Collar early. That one is coming over to the side, but they're just going to give that one over. I wanted you were mentioning the items though, especially for the AD carries, and I wanted to kind of revisit that. We see Ikea here, who is on this crit champion, and a couple patches ago, the reason crit ADCs really fell out of meta was because some of the items were reworked, and the crit build comes online a lot later into the game than it used to. You really have to hit those 3-4 item spikes before you start to become relevant as a crit marksman. So Ikea on this crit ADC, who wants the game to stall, is actually ahead of Mr. Wish with the Ezreal on the Kleptomancy, but we got a fight here. Mr. Gaudier just takes out Season 8 DLC. Nothing he can do on that. 4-man collapse there, and the gold goes over to Ikea, who is so far ahead of this Ezreal, who should be ahead with his Kleptomancy, but he just bought his Mirror Mana, or Mana Immune. he's still going to have time to stack that up, while Achaea is sitting over here probably getting close to his second item. So Mr. Wish way behind the curve here, and Xayah is going to be, feeling really good about getting her power spikes, in time to be a really big impact in these fights.
And so far, you can't be out that far of the map at all, especially by yourself when Gaudier is around, especially with that ult. And just like you mentioned before with the AD carries being able to be relevant in damage later on because their crit pretty much has been nerfed, or not just nerfed, but their crit potential and damage potential on crits has just been moved further on the longer end of the game here instead of the early game, which is why they are not too well in the early game at all, just playing an AD carry, unless you are expecting a scaling team composition that works really well around it. But most of the times there's too many champions out there to pick up or select on when it comes to early and mid game wins. So right now it does not seem like, since Achaea is so far ahead on his side of the team, they can actually scale to the late game where Achaea's crit damage will be able to take place, because after he builds up this rapid fire cannon, which he already has 2 of the of those items or tools that pretty much develops into the rapid fire cannon, and then he's gonna be able to get that brand new IE, which costs a bit more than what it used to, about 300 gold more, but it will still be worth it.
3,600 gold.
Oh, 3,600. They reduced it by another 100.
Did they? I don't remember them reducing it.
I believe when they increased it to 3,700 and then 3,600.
That might be what it is.
Yeah.
Been a little bit since I bought it, to be honest.
I mean, I feel like you gotta run that rune that puts you in debt, because that's really expensive. But it's a good investment though.
It is absolutely a good investment, but it has to come, kind of in that third or fourth item slot, because it no longer gives you any critical chance, only doubles the crit strike that you already have. So if you get a first item, it's pretty much useless. But yes, Achaea definitely ahead of the curve here. Might be able to get his items in time to really impact these team fights that we were talking about. Guardian Esports won these 5v5s. Oh, Bacon there with a little fake out. Says, am I going for you? Am I not? You don't know. But long story short, Achaea's in a strong spot right now. And Mr. Wish actually had to go for the Iceborne Gauntlet, so not as well of a, kind of a weaker build there. Didn't get to go for the Triforce.
Oh, that's some nice damage from EA there. I mean, that's something SKZ is not gonna forget. They're just like, okay, EA is 2-2. Like, there's no way he's that strong, and then he is strong. It's like, because he has the Triforce too, so his Q must hit a bit harder than that. As we can see, Barracuda has to be down at the bot side, because, if Bacon jumps on Barracuda, I believe he might be able to get out.
He was able to get a pull on Achaea. He uses the ult to avoid the initial charge, but flashes out, and Gaudier comes in and pick up the kill, and now they are in trouble. Darius not able to finish Gaudier with the ult, and will go down. Mr. Wish flashes, but still gets hit by the binding. Bacon jumps in with the ult, but gets Glacial Prison under the turret. Mr. Wish is going to survive for now with Arcane shifts into Blaxican, and D-Loon on the Galio is going to pick up the double kill. Season 8 DLC lands a great hook on Achaea, but with all of the defensive capabilities stacked on top of that, Xayah is not able to take him down, and Schism Esports walks away with a 1-for-2. Great fight by them.
And a bit of a mistake from EA. He flashes in, and instead of getting the outer funnel of his Q, he basically flashes in where everyone was on his inner side of his Q, and he didn't do too much damage there. I mean, if he would have gotten the outer instead of the inner, he would have been able to kill Achaea, but Achaea did have flash, also had the support from everyone else, especially from D-Lun, who can taunt up the everyone pretty much, whoever's in his radius of not even 100 meters. But it's just a really long taunt to be able to let Achaea get away. And then not just that, all the lockdowns that happened on Achaea, it was amazing and all, but the Featherstorm just able to get him out of that bad situation. So that's why Achaea lived throughout that team fight.
Yeah, I think IKEA might have actually gone down to Season 8 DLC there, but he did pop the heal, which saved his life there in the end, just barely slunk away with just a small sliver of health. But you can just kind of see, the composition Schism has. We've talked about how good it is at engaging, bringing the whole team to the enemy backline, but it's also so good at protecting yourself. Xayah has that frame of invulnerability, but D-Loon able to get his ultimate off beforehand, so he was able to channel the ultimate while Xayah was invulnerable, buying even more time. And the Black Shield on top of him made sure IKEA didn't get locked down any further and was able to escape to safety without even having to burn his flash. So good pick by Guardian Esports, but that they have to be able to kill those carries if they're gonna take those front-to-back fights with this Xayah being as strong as she is right now.
And GE has to be careful with Gaudier here. He has the Warrior's Blade along with that Dust Blade and a double control ward inside that Baron Pit, which is going to cost them a bit of time there. They're going to have one less control ward around the map where they need it. So that's, I mean, not 100% bad, Wards get lonely too, so you want to be able to get them with a partner themselves, but
double the wards, double the vision, but a binding there lands on Fed 1. He's gonna be okay though. He's a big boy. He's a big boar.
I thought EA was gonna go for Black Cleaver, but
another binding though. This might be in trouble. Brookcaller comes through and Fed 1 locked in. The Camille ultimate is gonna go down to Gaudier, who's on a killing spree now, and that is the confidence they need to go for Baron. Those double wards gonna help them so much here, and Guardian Esports gotta just give this one up. Fed 1 face checking a bush, pays for it with his life and with the Baron.
And the only thing that SKZ had to spend there was just the Hextech Ultimatum. And now EA, he was thinking about pushing up that lane, but it's very risky with Gaudier's ult. Nothing was expended just to get the pick onto Fed 1. Fed 1 basically was just distracted and tried to get the control ward out of that brush there from the side of SKZ, but instead gets pretty much binded by blocks again while sitting in the death brush, which was quite in range for that binding. And then Bacon with the hook shot engage is just complete lockdown. You would have to, if on the side of the GA right now, Guardian Esports, if they see some kind of lockdown happening like that to one of their members, they have to respawn to that attack right away, because they are just gonna burst down. They don't have too many tanks on their side of SKZ. They only have a Camille who's getting a Seeks gauge and maybe a Serix gauge and maybe a Titanic Hydra for HP, but the only real tank on that composition right now is Galio, so everyone else is just damage.
Yeah, and although they don't have that, really health advantage, it still can be a little bit tricky to pick them off, with the Black Shield and the damage reduction coming out from the Galio ultimate, as well as the invulnerability that both Camille and Xayah has, as well as the free spell shield on Nocturne. But you're definitely right. They do need to be able to pick a member off because, all those, defensive capabilities that Schism has, they all work together really well. But if you're able to take one of those out of the fight, the rest of the fight just becomes that much easier because they can't just stack those defensive capabilities one on top of another. So you're definitely make a good point there. Guardian Esports needs to be able to finish off those kills, especially when it's on a carry.
Right now, seems like GE is going to play patiently here. SKZ, they have the Baron buff, so they're going to be able to just completely split push. They're going for a 1-2-1, only because Gaudier can just come into any of these, to either of these three lanes with just a press of the R, can just come in flying at you like a ghost. Which he, actually, yeah, he is a ghost, right? He has to be a ghost. Just not a friendly one.
Oh, Black's again there?
No, the Nocturne.
Oh, I think Nocturne is a Shadow, I believe.
All right, Shadow in the dark, ready to ult and come in from far away, and here it goes.
Oh, and here he goes, and he's bringing the Galio on top of him, but Pretty Boy able to just dance out of that one. Doesn't get taken out, and that's, the main combo down for Schism, and here the engage on the Galio whiffs the ultimate from Sejuani, but the binding will land, as well as the root color. Xayah gets pulled in, she uses the ultimate. Fed 1 is getting low though. Blaxican about to go down. Blaxican dies, and Sejuani goes down to the backline. Borikua now wants to dive in, isn't able to take out Zaya. He has to pop the Zanyas, and now he's gonna die. Pretty Boy tries to go in to save him, but he is gonna give his life over as well. And Schism is just cleaning up. Godier's on a rampage.
And this is a horrible sign from GA. 4 members, 4 of them just down. Baron is still up for at least the next minute here, or a few seconds, I don't know though. It actually just ran out, so I was wrong, double time there. But regardless though, they have 4-man strong on the side of SKZ. They're gonna be able to just push down this inhibitor tower, and maybe even be able to rotate down to the bot to meet up with Bacon, who also has taken down the tower as well. So this is potentially 2 inhibitors, while the chase potential is here for GE, as SKZ are a bit overstaying here. They don't have flash on GE though, just Barracuda, but not going to be able to get the Stream of Shuffle nor the Emperor's Divine at all to bring them back in for a potential win on that fight. And this Dragon is also coming up, so just a Cloud Drake. But regardless, objectives are being taken for SKZ, increasing further their advantage gold-wise and item-wise as well. Starix Gauge is finally done on Camille. The Rapid Fire Cannon and the IE are built up on the Zaya, so that's a ton of damage. And then Gaudier is now a literal god. If he dies, he's going to come back to life with that GA.
Yeah, Gaudier 4-0-4, up 20 CS over his opponent. Definitely a scary, opponent here. Gonna be able to really take his pick of the litter. If he can get onto the Ezreal, the Azir, or the Rakan, he's gonna be able to blow them up very quickly. And even if he does go down, which isn't an easy thing to do with all of the defensive capabilities that Schism has, it's gonna be hard to take down Gaudier in the first place. But even if they do, he's just gonna come right back to life. And here they're gonna pick up I believe that was a Cloud Drake. There for themselves, makes 4 Drakes to 0. But if you're Guardian Esports, this is looking tough because, that last fight that they took was exactly the fight that they wanted. The main combo from Schism was down. They didn't have the Nocturnal. They didn't have the Galio ult. The Black Shield was down. And they got everything that they needed. Their perfect 5v5 front-to-back team fight. But Schism was just so far ahead in just raw stats that they just weren't able to win. And if you can't win the fight that you drafted a composition around, then where do you really go from here?
The only way to go right now is either up or down for GE, because this may be the last team fight. Great Dark Binding lands on top of Fed 1 right now, and GE are being pushed back, and SKZ are also being pushed back little by little. They also want to be careful with this. Doesn't matter how much of a lead that they have, they could still potentially lose any of these team fights. IKEA does not have GA like Gaudier does,
DLC has to go back to base.
Yeah, it has to go back to base, so that's going to be an easy siege win for SKZ. Rotating to the top, Fed 1 is just keeping eyes on them right now and might be looking to engage, but won't be able to at all. GE has to play this a bit more careful, try to get the farm up, try to keep up with the pace with SKZ. But if SKZ are full control of the map here, getting all the jungle camps, clearing all the waves in each and every single lane, and potentially might be able to pick up the second Baron that's going to be coming up in 8 seconds right here. As GE, they are heading outside of their base. There's no need to turtle right now. Delun is sitting right at the blue buff, being a human ward right now, and this is good for GE. They're already stacked up. There's an engage.
But here we gotta fight. The Nocturne ultimate is popping. He gets locked up. Everybody goes in. The Galio ultimate, the Zaya ultimate, the Camille ultimate layered one on top of another. And Schism is giving Guardian Esports everything in a side of fries in this fight. And they just aced them without dropping a single member. And that is probably gonna be the game. Super Minions pushing into the base. Inhibitors down. The Nexus turret, all that stands between Schism and a game 1 victory. Oh my god, they just popped there. Where did Guardian Esports go? I swear, they were on the map like 10 seconds ago. I don't know where they went. Are they hiding? Are they in Fogapore? No, they're dead. Schism wins. That easy.
Something's wrong with my stream. Huh.
Oh no, we're having technical difficulties.
No, it's a bit slow. I don't know why.
Oh,
Because
you're
I
just
haven't.
behind a little.
No, it's just freeze frames here and there. I don't know if that's just me or not.
Well, long story short, Guardian Esports went to check the Baron and just died. I don't know how it happened. I don't think they know how it happened. I don't think Schism Esports knew how it happened. But somehow, Guardian Esports just died. Like, their health bars were there 1 minute, and they were gone about 2 seconds later. Uh, Maybe one or two blinking health bars on the side of Schism, but for the most part, they just wiped the floor. They were able to land every ultimate. The Nocturne ult, removing the vision. He goes in. D-Loon ultimates on top of him. Ikea actually ults in with the flash to get a 5-man Rook Caller. Blaxican able to pop that ultimate as well. I believe he might have flashed in there too. And then Bacon hookshotting in with the ultimate to just lock the whole team in. None of them can escape. And they were just gone. I'm pretty sure that whole team fight lasted less than like 2 seconds. But incredible play there by Schism. They were able to not only bait the Baron, but had D-Loon sitting there just behind the wall, acting as the human ward, as you said, able to spot them and then immediately collapse on the entire team, just as Guardian Esports thought they had caught Schism unaware for just a moment. But they had it. Schism was ready, and they're able to take game one. What are your thoughts?
Uh, Wait, hold on. I was a bit distracted. My thoughts on this was, they had the composition, but their execution is a bit more of a higher skill level. The only thing of the higher execution on the side of Schism was probably just Bacon itself. Gaudier is pretty much just point and click, so is Delun as well. Ikea, not that hard to play. Zaya, Morgana, either. It's just a bunch of point and click stuff, a little bit of skill shots required. It's just a lot harder. I saw the compositions that GE was trying to play. It's a bit harder for them to try to execute a combination or choreographed kind of engage. Because if you think about it, since Juwani engages and then you want the Azir to put up the Sand Soldiers just up to 3 as fast as possible, EA just not able to get in there. He gets completely locked down as Bacon can easily just completely put him in an arena and give the rest of his carries safety on the side for SKZ. I mean, it was just a really hard matchup to be honest. It has to come down to draft here. I wouldn't say that GE lost because they didn't play well or they faltered on their skill level compared to SKZ's skill level. I think it would have to be the drafts. The drafts is what failed for the side of GE. They have to draft a bit better so that way if one team's playing it easy on champions, then I think you should too, because then that sort of evens out the score and skill level at the same time.
Absolutely. I think this can definitely be a classic example of just kind of how the meta has shifted in League of Legends recently. If you think just a couple months ago, during the spring split, towards the beginning of the season, the meta kind of was exactly what Guardian Esports has right here. You take a couple tanks, you maybe get a winning bot lane and then a heavy DPS mage in the middle lane. You kind of try to scale up into the late game, hit those 3-4 item spikes, and then you just kind of run down mid and 5v5 team fight your way to victory. The kind of death ball composition. But now in this new season, with all these recent patches, the games are so much quicker. They're so much snowballier. This game ended at 30 minutes. I think if the game had gone another 15, 20 minutes, Guardian Esports would have just flat out won because their tanks would have been too tanky. Borikua would have just had too much DPS. He would have just shred through everybody. And, they just wouldn't have been able to win a team fight. But Schism here is able to get an early lead, snowball it, and just pick apart Garden Esports before they even get to their third items. I'm looking right here, and I think other than Okay, so it seems like Schism, a couple of their members did hit their third item power spikes, but even Bacon, 4 and 3, 247 CS, had some of the highest CS in the game, still wasn't even on his third item. So it just goes to show you how quickly this game ended. And Ezreal with Kleptomancy wasn't even able to get to his third item. Um, and so Schism just, picking up the pace here and just running away with this game. So we'll see, in the rest of the series if Guardian Esports decides to try to go back for this slower scaling composition, or if they relinquish, the scaling playstyle for more of a fast-paced, blow for blow game. And I'm definitely excited to see how they adapt, but also how Schism shakes it up because they've kind of shown their hand here in this composition. They had a really, kind of wombo combo. Um, and that usually works once. Whether it works again when your enemies are prepared for it is a whole different story. So I think these next couple of games should definitely be very interesting to watch, and see how these teams change it up. And hopefully we have everything figured out here with the stream. I think, Mighty Rye, are you having some technical difficulties over there?
No discussion on the pause screen because there's a little bit of controversial about pause screens. Like when pause happens, you should switch the scene. Um, I wish I could do something about trying to snipe. Like if the pause is a bit too long and it gives the other team a
Yeah.
chance to go and look at the stream. Like the second we reach the pause in game, you know, the team could have already potentially be watching the stream for more than a minute by now because of the 3 minute delay. So there's really not much I can do about that, even though I've already tried a couple of months back and I did it for like a whole month and a half, and then someone pointed out that it doesn't matter like if you change scenes or not, it really doesn't change the fact that as soon as the pause happens, you know we're still 3 minutes behind. So like
Yeah.
it's already like if a pause already happened between the teams in that real in time on time game or whatever, like real live game, then you know we can't predict that a pause is about to happen in order to change the scene before it happens. So it's like really hard to try to contradict the changing of the screen from pausing and unpausing. But I mean, there's really nothing I can do about that. Hopefully, the teams respect each other enough not to do such a thing. Either
Hey guys,
way,
if you guys are out there, and you're on a team, just be respectful in these games. Stream sniping just ruins the game for everybody, brings the league down. We really try to be a fair league here, and so just don't do it.
yeah,
That's how you stop it. Just don't do it, guys. It's not fair.
I gotta invite you. Hold on, everyone's here inside,
I'm
so
waiting for it.
we are gonna go ahead and wait for the next game here. This game, I really want to see GE draft something a bit simpler on their team composition. I believe they're forcing these type of picks on themselves, but if this is their picks that they normally play, then um then they gotta expand more on their play style, because then it's just everyone has an op.gg on them for sure. um they are a diamond and plat team, which is great and all, but like for instance, EA season 8, it swaying Gangplank Darius Orn. So he should have played like a Gangplank maybe against the Camille, but I think Gangplank gets countered by Camille pretty hard, doesn't she? Or doesn't he?
I honestly don't think Season 8 DLC's pick was the problem. I think Darius is a really strong pick right now. But he kind of got bullied early. He had a really unfortunate death level 1. If he doesn't go in for that, I think he's fine. And once he gets to level 3 or 4, he's able to start winning that matchup, especially if the jungler is able to come up there. I think the problem with Guardian Esports composition in that game was that they were playing way too late game. They have a Sejuani and an Azir. Sejuani needs those 3-4 items before she's able to be that tanky front line, because at the beginning of the game she just kind of builds health and she's shredded through really easily. And Azir needs that 4 or 5 items before he's able to have the DPS to just really blow up squishies.
No, but I'm
And
just giving out an example, like, you know, how their champion pool isn't too wide of variety right now. It's not looking
yeah, I
so.
definitely think like they need to adjust to this new meta. So, they need to be able to play a faster play style and play champions that are stronger early. So I get the Azir is the comfort pick, but it's just not working for you right now. So they definitely do need to expand their champion pool to be able to match something more in this meta. But we are in the draft phase. Mighty Rai, you want to walk us through this one?
Hold on one second. I gotta update the stream as well so I can transition so everyone else can see this draft phase. So right now, pretty good. I mean, again, Misfortune, Zyra. I believe it's gonna be Zoe, because why not? Vein broken, doesn't need to be fixed, or wait, I don't know how the saying
If it
goes.
ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So this is definitely going to be a Zoe ban, if not a Morgana, and the Morgana did hit the screen. So that's that's something of a little bit of a respect from SKZ. They just noticed that the Morgana, it was like the only threat on the board that could have potentially gave them the loss. But regardless,
They had the Morgana there.
Oh, they had Morgana for
Blackskin
SKZ.
was the one with a Morgana.
Oh yeah. So I don't know why they banned Morgana from themselves. They could have just picked that up again.
It's because they wanted the Rakan there for themselves that time. They weren't able to get it last game because Guardian Esports had the first pick, and so Schism picked it up as the counter. And wanting to pick up Rakan here as their own first pick, they didn't want to give Guardian Esports that same counter that they had because they knew that it was effective. But Guardian Esports picking up the Xayah for themselves instead, as they couldn't get the Rakan there. But he's going to be a little more susceptible to these engages now that it doesn't have the Morgana, but we see the Xin Zhao coming in. That's an interesting one.
If I have to give a win rate percentage, I would say like a chances of this being a tie would be 30% for G.
There it is. We see God here
With the
on the
Udyr.
Udyr.
Yep. That's what he
His
wanted to do.
champion.
His champion. That's what he was MVP for, and this is what he's known for the Udyr. He even has the DYR on his club tag, because maybe someone else already took it, but regardless, he's a big Udyr play. Draven, very aggressive. That could be the slam dunk.
This is a gutsy pick. Oh, and he is going to lock it in. Now, Draven is an extremely strong champion. Oh, it does. Oh, it switched to
it's Lucian.
Oh, he switched to Lucian.
Oh, I was like, what are you talking about? It was a last-second switch.
Yeah, I just wasn't. I think I looked away there at the last second. I do like this pick better. Lucian is, requires much less resources in lane. He doesn't need somebody to like come down and gank him. He doesn't need to snowball. He can just get 1 or 2 items and then be at his power spike. But Zoe here picked up for Guardian Esports as well. We saw that banned away in the last game. It goes through this time. They are able to pick it up, and she is such an annoying champion to play against around the mid lane. The Paddle Star is just coming in from seemingly nowhere, able to chunk out half to 75% of a Squishy's health bar. So that Lucian is really got to watch out. If Zoe able to land those shots, he's gonna have a rough time here.
Yeah, I wouldn't choose Zoe when I already have 1 L on the score right now, because you gotta play a bit patiently, and if you can play your first game a bit patiently to get a win, I would do so. But since this is the second game, I feel like this is the point where the morale is a bit lower down. You want to play comfortable picks. If Zoe's a comfortable pick, that's fine. I just don't think it's a good champion right now for already having an L on the scoreboard, especially against an Udyr. The Udyr is gonna maybe be able to dodge those sleepy bubble troubles too easily. Xin Zhao is actually a good pick for the second game. He's very aggressive. He can start off these engages. He can play off the front very easily and also can outduel Udyr. But I'm not sure with Gaudier though. Gaudier is so so good with Udyr. I don't know if Zinzhao will be able to outduel Udyr in the jungle at all. Janna's gonna be picked up for Xayah. That is a pretty safe one as well, because if any of these carries that try to jump in, Janna can just monsoon them away, which is really nice. It just still doesn't go too well with Zoe. Zoe's a lone wolf right now, going against the Orianna. Orianna can play safe as well and potentially get those early roams going on, depending on what summoner spells they will take up on. And this is going to be the last pick for the top laner, and I wanted to say that Ornn was not banned out, so I believe that was going to be the Ornn pick for the side of SKZ on Bacon. I have seen Evolve play on Ornn as well, so that's something really big. Most top laners do, I wouldn't say prefer Ornn. Ornn is just forced on top of the top lane right now in the new meta, because he's just that good of a champion.
Definitely a strong champion with the Maokai coming here for Guardian Esports. I don't really like this. So I was excited when I saw the Xin Zhao come out from Guardian Esports. You know, I kind of talked about how they need to kind of shake up their playstyle a little bit, play some different champions, some more aggressive champions maybe. And Xin Zhao is one of those champions that wants to do that. But with the Zoe, then the Janna, and now the Maokai, they are kind of going back towards that, you know, kind of late game, let's scale up a little bit play style, which I don't like for him. Although they do, the one thing I will say is that the kind of they do have a nice composition set up with Maokai and Xin Zhao diving into the backline together, and then having Xayah and Zoe just sitting in the backline dealing out damage, and Janna sitting on top trying to keep them alive. So both teams really do kind of have similar compositions. They have their front line that wants to engage, and their back line that just wants to kind of sit back, and then somebody supporting the back line. Although on Schism, it's kind of Orianna that does that little bit of supporting role. The differences between the compositions here is how they engage. So Schism is going to be really dependent on that Ornn ultimate, because the rest of them are very short range. So if Ornn is able to hit that ultimate, then great. The rest of the team comes in, and you know, you can get the Rakan ultimate into the Orianna ultimate, into all that. But if he isn't able to hit that, then the advantage in the fights might go over to Guardian Esports. So it's definitely going to be another one of those games where, you know, it's going to come down to execution, and early game especially is going to be extremely important with these hyper aggressive junglers, Xin Zhao and Udyr. So keep an eye on Gadir and Borikua. Or
Yeah,
Fedwan's a jungler. What am I
So
talking
Dominus Mars did say that it's a common counter that Udyr beats out the Xin Zhao, which is even better for Gadir, to be honest, right? Because he's just the master of it. So right now, Fed1, I believe, disconnected. G is not in LCS order, but I gave him my blessing, saying that, you know what, it's fine, because there's 4 people in the spectator mode, and there was only one spot to invite someone, and moving around would have been pretty dang hard right now. So we're just gonna get this game started with, even though the LCS order is a bit mixed up here, but does not matter though, because we've already went through the pro draft anyway. So regardless, the picks is gonna remain the same, and I do believe GE at least has a better pick composition right now. Maokai is a pretty easy champion, and he's just so tanky. He's gonna be able to do a lot of damage. I just believe that they're gonna be lacking damage, because once again, that's Zoe. The Zoe is not a champion that gives out consistent damage at all. Damage is patient. You gotta set up the play for Zoe first, or Zoe can set up the play for herself as well as the champion. And you know, it's just gonna be hard for Zoe on these team fights, especially with all these moving targets, and the Ornn, who can do Call of Forge God on the backside, Orianna Ball on the Udyr, which Udyr is gonna be running about like 10,000 miles an hour at you, and you just can't stop it. It's almost like facing an Olaf at that point, but it's not an Olaf though. I believe it's a bit worse, because Udyr, Gadir, I mean, He doesn't have to be with his team. If he can get really ahead of the game, he can honestly split push by himself and finish the game by himself as well, because I don't think most of these champions here selected by GE can actually deal with the Udyr at all. So I'm looking at maybe a 1-3-1 composition. The Recon and the Orianna combo works out really well for the Shockwave, and the Shockwave just does a ton of damage. So we might just be able to see that happening, and something went wrong here.
One of Guardian Esports members. So it looks like the mid laner for Guardian Esports, Borikua, had his client crash.
Unfortunate. Oh man. Wow.
This does give us another second to talk about the draft, though, so you're definitely right. We've seen Godier's tendency to split push. I believe it was 2 weeks ago. I don't remember who Schism was playing, but Godier got his Udyr and almost ended the game by himself. He's able to just continuously go down into the enemy base, take turrets, take inhibitors, take more turrets, take more inhibitors, and he's just insanely good at this champion, and he loves the split push. My only worry is if Schism decides, or if Guardian Esports is able to pick out Schism members, they have a lot of lockdown. They have the Sleepy Bubble Trouble, the Maokai, the Blade Caller from Xayah. Is it Blade Caller or?
Yeah, Blade Caller for the E. Yeah.
And yeah, so they just have so much lockdown available if they are able to get picked. So that's going to be kind of Guardians Esports' way in to beat the draft of Schisms, is to pick off individual members. Because if you, let's say Godier is off split pushing and you pick off one of the other four, well, that kind of forces Godier to leave his split push and come back to the team where he's a little less effective. Otherwise they're just going to have a number disadvantage and Guardian Esports will probably just outpush. But if Schism is able to play it safe, is able to protect or defend with their 4 members and let Godier just free push all day, then their Schism is gonna have just a wonderful time.
And not just that, I mean, okay, let's say Godier does split push. You're not gonna send Zoe. Zoe's gonna be an easy target for a dive on a 1v1. You're not going to send Xayah. Xayah's just going to be pushed off the same as Zoe as well. I mean, maybe a little bit of a better fight, though, because of the Blade Caller being able to snare up targets and do a bit more damage. But Udyr just has so much mobility. He can work his way around those Feather Daggers to not be able to get caught up by 3 of them. And the Feather Storm is just going to be wasted. As soon as that Feather Storm's casted, Udyr can just... Godier can just turn around in bear stance and just run away, yet again dodging the damage and the ult as well, and pretty much there's going to be a lot of wasted ults. You're not going to send Janna alone down there either. I mean, Janna's going to put up the shield on the tower, and then Godier's just going to run at Janna and probably try to kill Janna, or Pretty Boy on the Janna. So it's going to be really hard to deal with this, and Barracuda already loses out on the fight, or sorry, Fed one with the Xin Zhao. He's not going to be able to 1v1 Godier either, so it's going to be really hard to deal with Godier if he starts to split push, but it all depends on the early game as well. The early game,
absolutely.
I believe GE has the early game. EA, Maokai, unless EA plays really aggressive like he did with Darius, then, I would not give any kills to the Ornn. I would give it to the Udyr on every single gank.
I definitely think Ornn has a deceptive amount of damage as, a tank. He's more like a bruiser up in the top lane. He can win fights against tanks, bruisers, squishy assassins. Ornn just has so much damage up there. So I definitely expect Godier to be going up there a lot. Like he said, try to get those kills on the immobile Maokai. But, I'm really going to be looking at Fed 1 on the side of Guardian Esports because he is their bridge into the late game. The rest of their champions are again focused on the late game. We have the Xayah, who needs to scale up with crit, the Janna, who just scales so well into the late game, the Maokai will be so tanky. But early game, it really comes down to Fed 1. He is going to have the dueling power And so has to be him that is matching Gaudier in these ganks, as well as his farm. Because if Fed One can get ahead, then he can buy enough time for the rest of his team to get their items and make it into the late game where they're strong. But if Fed One falls behind, then I think the composition just falls apart and Schism just kind of rolls over them like they did last game.
Yeah, so G, once again, the only complicated part of their team composition will be the Zoe. So everyone else can basically just all in and get those team fights ready up and set up. But honestly though, Zoe can also be the real MVP of the game. If the Battlestar can knock out Lucian one shot, or the Orianna one shot, or even that, the Rakan one shot, then that would be such an insane MVP potential player right then and there, because Barracuda already taking out members before even a fight starts on the 5v5 is just gonna be an awesome denying of opportunities on the side of SKZ, and they're gonna be able to push up real hard, because I do like Xin Zhao a lot. He's really good as a duelist. Once again, Xayah is also really good on the fights there because of the Blade Collar. Lucian, though, I believe is going to be a little bit hard just because he has the dash along with Rakan. Rakan can also dash away and just get out of range of the Paddle Star as much as possible. Orianna Ball can also shield, so maybe mitigate a little bit of that damage, but I don't think that even matters. Zoe is just so strong and be able to just burn through any shields right now currently with the damage that she has. And Orin's just too tanky. Maybe Zoe might be able to do damage to Orin. I'm not sure. I haven't seen too many of that matchup in a while, or at all. But either way, Zoe does a lot of damage, so that's gonna be their main opportunity for openings on team fights or engages. But it also leaves Barracuda open for fights and engages on top of him after using the portal jump or whatever it is he's going to be using when he's going to try to get these picks off.
Absolutely. We do have about 50 seconds left here in the spectator delay, and then we can get in the game. Who knows? They might already be 5-man invading. There could have been a pentakill, and we will never know.
Yeah, we won't know until 3 minutes after in the game.
Maybe Schism is about to win right now. Maybe Gaudier is so far ahead that he's already split pushed into the enemy game, into the enemy base, and he's ending the game.
Imagine if Gaudier got level 1 pentakill. Oh my gosh. Just that happened before too, and I believe in Worlds season 5, I believe, or 4. There was like there was like level 1 fight and someone got a pentakill in the World season. I'm not man, I don't remember. It was a long time ago.
Like one of my solo queue games.
I think it was Samsung White. I'm just gonna say, or Galaxy or something like that. Dang, I don't remember. It was a long time ago, but it was the most hyped up game ever. And I mean ever, because we've never seen a 1v1, especially a pentakill already out the start, which gave the first ace to them. They still didn't win though, but it was not you, Mars. But they still didn't win, but it was still kudos to them, because it has never been done at all. Not in season 1, 2. I think it was 3. I think it was between 3 or 5. Either one of those seasons where it happened. But regardless, though, let's go back to ABL, where it's better than the LCS and all the other professional plays.
Can we prove that it wasn't Dominus Mars? Because I feel like it might have been.
No, it was not Dominus Mars. Not even if you donated money to me, I still would say it wasn't him.
Well, I would definitely say that if you donated money to me. Wink, wink. But we are into the loading screen here, and Spirit Guard Udyr here for Gaudier. Absolutely essential on this champion with a name like that.
I mean, if you're named Gaudier and you don't play Udyr, I mean, just what were you thinking? You know, what were you thinking? Why? Doesn't make sense.
But we don't see any 5-man invades quite yet. But Janna going to the mid lane?
Yes. Oh, when you said that, she said, yes, it's true. Oh, God, that was perfect timing. Oh, we need a clip on that if the audio picked it up.
I don't see it.
No,
Where'd you say that?
she said it like it was Gaudier in the middle.
Oh, okay.
And
Like
it,
her actual champion?
yeah, her
Oh.
interaction. Yeah, her interaction, like when you said that's Jenna in the mid lane, and then she said, yes, it's true.
I
Perfect
expect Janet to
timing.
be going down to the bot lane. I was curious if maybe this was some sort of weird Zoe support and Janna and Xin Zhao doing the gold funneling strat, but none of that. It's going to be standard. Janna's going to be coming down to the bottom lane. Zoe will be in the mid. Everything is all right with the world.
I will see. I will clip that after the game because I want to see or hear that again. But regardless, pretty standard start once again on both sides of the teams. Not really much on an invade. They don't have a Thresh. They don't have Morgana, or they don't really have anyone with a long range kind of snare. And wait a minute, what is going on here? Gaudier looking at 1v1 Fed
Gaudier
one.
And Xin Zhao fighting over the Scuttle Crab control. But the bottom lane for SKZ has lane priority, and they can push up first. But Fed1 is getting dangerously low, isn't going to burn any summoner spells. But Gaudier has established dominance. And he will get the Scuttle Crab.
And also established low mana too. He has no mana,
Yes.
but he gets it
But
back because
Fed1
the
is out of
Scuttle.
health. I'd rather have mana than health. Ooh, Pretty Boy having to burn the flash with Blackskin coming in with the grand entrance, reaches level 2 before the Guardian Esports bot lane, and they don't respect it. They decide to stay up anyway. And now Janna, Pretty Boy, without a flash here, and that is a squishy immobile support. If Gaudier is able to get down here and get a flash stun onto that Janna, that could spell disaster for Guardian Esports. But they do have level 2 now, so Janna should have at least that tornado to do some disengage. But Bacon up in the top lane, just zoning Season 8 DLC off from all of this farm. He is able to be able to pick up the wave now, but as it stands, he is getting close to 10 CS down. Oh, poor Mr. Wish.
Poor Mr.
Poor Mr. Wish. Misses the
Yeah.
cannon minion.
That's gonna hurt. I mean, that's gotta hurt. You're gonna get Storm Razor first, so definitely pickaxe and dagger, which is a great combination to be honest. Normally, when you can afford the dagger with the pickaxe, you do, and it happens to actually be into a completed item such as the Storm Razor. And here comes the gank on the top.
Yep, and Bacon is getting chased down, knocked up by Fed1. He has the red buff cooking. He's probably going to go down. Decides to go in from the CC. Flashes over, but gives Fed1 an escape. Fed1 flashes out, but Gaudier is on the chase. Here comes Seasonal DST to try to lock him down, but he is out of mana. But we're going to switch to the bot lane for some reason.
It's more important
Gaudier
than what's going on.
away.
Bot lane's way more important than every other lane, alright? Let's believe
There's only
it.
3 red minions left. 3 blue minions. It's a tie, guys.
It's a tie. It's so... wow, like...
Gaudier able to get away in the top lane. Back to normal, although Season 8 DLC out of mana here, so Bacon should have a pretty easy time pushing him in now.
Oh.
Lexi goes in, the grand entrance catches Pretty Boy, ignites him, the flash or the shield and the heal goes in, but the Lucian able to pick up that kill. Mr. Wish wants to go in for Blackskin, but the heal is going to keep him alive. He's going to have to back off under the turret. Ikea taking him down to a little under half health, but that is a kill for Lucian there. Very well played, Pretty Boy. Playing too aggressive, not having his flash, and gets punished.
Not too aggressive. I believe mispositioning. Like, he's already mispositioned once where Pretty Boy had to use the flash early when, he wasn't really not supposed to be in that line of danger. He could just sit back right behind Mr. Wish and just, they gang up on Mr. Wish, that's fine. You could throw up the bubble and Mr. Wish can just develop those feather daggers to get the blade collar snare, which just only requires 3, but because Ikea's Lucian, he's able to just go around that as much as Gaudier can as well. And Bloxican, since he's Rakan, these type of engagers are just basically instant, and it all has to come down to the reaction from the players in order to counter or to protect themselves against the Rakan and the Lucian combo. So Right now, they are pushed up on the wave on the bot side, which is not going to be too much in favor. They don't want to be chased down here, so because look at them, they're already ignoring the minion waves, and this is looking to be an engage.
And that's Mr. Wish having to blow the flash. Blaxican running him with that grand entrance, very good by him. Force that summoner out of Mr. Wish, and that's the next 45 seconds to a minute. Both bot laners there are not gonna have the flash available. So if Gaudier wants to come down, or even D-Loon might be able to pick something up. Borco, we haven't really checked on the mid lane. Both mid laners hovering around that 45-50 CS mark, so they are pretty even. Borco does have some early CS, but Season 8 DLC getting a little aggressive on Bacon. Winning out in the trade has more minions on his side. It is not even up in the top lane.
And Bammy Cinder too for easy, getting engage on you while burning your minions down at the same time. Pretty good. And right now, bot lane for the side of GE is looking to be in a bad position right now. Seems like they might lose out another minion or two on the CS, which isn't too bad, but seems like the next wave has already collided, and Mr. Wish, he can't get in on any of that CS at all because of the potential engage that the Rakan and the Lucian can be able to do at the moment here. So maybe they shouldn't have pushed up that wave when they try to pressure the the minions to collide under tower range to try to make IKEA lose a couple of minions, but now it's the other way around for Mr. Wish. He did pick up a pickaxe though when he went back, so it's not too bad, but he's faltering on the CS right now. 54 to 33 and 1 kill onto IKEA. So, but on the top lane right here though, since the camera directed it to the top side, since the almighty bot lane is not doing too much right now, Season 8, he's doing a lot better than he is from game number 1 right now. He's about almost the same CS and maybe looking to be
a fight on the bot side. Mr. Wish able to get plenty of damage down on the Blackskin. Good shoot by the Rakan to dodge the sleepy bubble trouble. Almost walked right into that with Fed one waiting in the wings. That would have spelled disaster. No summoner spells burned either. Although they didn't really have that many available to burn. Now Bacon wants to use Call of the Forge God. Here comes Gaudier. Oh, good prediction there by Season 8 DLC. Does root the God here, but now Bacon wants in. Season 8 DLC is going to heal up a little bit. Let's see, can he win the 1v2? God here is able to pick it up, and Bacon just survives there on the back end. Blinking health bars for both of them, though. The Season 8 DLC, no teleport, goes down to God here.
If only EA Season 8 did not get hit by the Call of the Forge God on the rebound there.
Yeah, he flashed back into that one. Both misplay by him and good prediction by Bacon, because he did dodge the first part of it with his root caller while also stunning Gaudier. And so that was the good flash. If it had just been a little further to the right, he might have been able to survive there. But nevertheless, he is dead, and he has to walk all the way back to lane. We'll miss a couple of minions.
Yeah, I mean,
but not as much as Mr. Wish is missing down here in bot lane.
The flash, like where he was positioned at, and the way Gaudier was positioned too, was pretty hard to tell where he could have flashed. Because if you try to flash straight across on above, he might have still gotten it hit by the Call of the Force God. But either way, losing out your first death isn't the end of the world. It actually puts up even for Fed 1 and Gaudier, despite the minion advantage for Gaudier right now. They get the Tiamat first with the Saber. Didn't go for any long swords, which is actually would have been a dang waste there too. So the Tiamat is really good with the Phoenix stance as well. It's gonna be able to clear up so many waves. Might even get these early invades as well in this about 10 minutes into the game. And also that just means he's gonna win on every single scuttle at the same time if he chooses to. But look at him, he's just gonna rotate down. He has Krugs available and the scuttle available too, but he might be decided on this Rift Herald or the Steel, or maybe looking for Fed 1, see where he's at and see what he's doing here. Yeah, he's thinking about getting his Rift. He's just waiting for Fed 1 to show up on the map here, and he has. So now Gaudier gonna start up on the Rift here, fairly safely.
Always starting to roam down to the bottom side. Fed 1 is already here. He's gonna be sneaking back into the lane bushes. Zoe cleared out some wards and then went back to the middle lane. Might give Schism some false security here. Blackstein decides to go in. It could be dangerous. And he uses the Grand Entrance to go here, but here's Fed1 gonna knock up Blackstein. Blackstein has to flash out with the quickness, but Fed1 does get the knockup, but he almost goes down for it. Dirty has to use the heal to get him out. And now the teleport from Bacon is going in. Call the Vorjot does come out, knocks up the Zaya and the Janna, but now Season 8 DLC is coming in, but he is stopped by Gaudier. And now it's gonna be him trying to kill Gaudier up in the top. Sleepy Bubble Trouble is gonna whip. Dirty flashes in with the Feather Collar, but has to flash away from the Orianna Shockwave. The Sleepy Bubble Trouble lands on D-Loon. He has to flash away from that to keep alive. So many summoner spells pop left and right. Zoe is gonna have like infinite flashes down here.
Yeah, you can see as many flashes on the bot side right now.
Bubble Trouble isn't able to really do much though.
No, not really. And the Rift is being used up at the mid because noticing that Barracuda is still on the bot side, and also GE potentially had to go back, but no, they are overstaying here and they want to commit to defending this mid tower. While Gaudier, good attempt there, but you know, at least got the tower to about quarter of the health though, so that's good.
Did get a very good chunk on it, but I would like actually to mention that I believe Season 8 DLC almost 1v1'd Gaudier there in the top lane after he stopped his teleport. Because I saw that Gaudier was very low, but Barracuda lands Sleepy Bubble Trouble on the D-Loon, has to pop the cleanse to get away. Barracuda is getting dangerously close to getting some kills on these. He's landing a lot of good ones, but Summoner spells have been burnt left and right to escape from Barracuda. Lands another Sleepy Bubble Trouble. Good chunk, but is blocked by the orange shield. But Ornn is tanking up this tower. Ikea wants to take it down, but they don't have the minions. They aren't able to get through the backdoor bonus there. And they will hold on to the tower for at least another wave. Fed1 is here to try to help defend. But Schism wants this tower really bad. Ikea walking up. Janna is going to shield it. There's a couple more auto attacks. Ikea will have it. He's taking out the turret, though. Tornado comes out, doesn't find anybody. Gaudier is sitting here waiting in the wings.
Shockwave available too.
Yes, we do have almost Call of the Fortune God should be coming up in a few seconds, so we might see a juicy dive here.
EA roaming down.
I think Guardian Esports has to give up this turret. They're not in a spot to defend. Maokai is going to come in. But yeah, they just give up the first turret. Doesn't feel very good, but it's better than getting dove right there. But now, Schism is all heading bot side, and Mr. Wish is down there all alone. He has got to get out of there. Oh, looks like Gaudier and D-Loon are just going to back off. Gaudier waiting in the wings, Season 8 DLC, walking in the bush. Not exactly someone you want to collapse on. It's going to take a little too long to kill that Maokai.
Ocean Drake is available for GE if they want to take this. Gaudier is not even interested in it at all. Wants to clear up the waves and get a bit more gold, as he is sitting on about 1,000, so he needs maybe 300 more in order to complete the Warrior's Blade. And GE, I think they were overthinking that Ocean Drake a little bit right now. They were pulling it out, saying that you gotta pull it out, but Gaudier isn't there. Dylan wasn't there. The only one that was there was Bloxican, but Bloxican, you know, maybe just his presence alone was just like,
better
this is a potential dive. Yeah, so I mean, when Rakan's around, why wouldn't the rest of the team be around him? You know, it's just too good to just not follow up after Rakan's full-on engage, which is really, really good. It's just very fast, and Fed1 not going to be on the bot side. Gaudier managed to sneak on top of that brush, so we might see EA being jumped on, but he does have flash and the Nature's Grass as well.
Absolutely, we do see Gaudier waiting in the wings here. Season 8 DLC is gonna chase as the book, and now he's in trouble. He's probably gonna go down here. Call the Forge God comes out. Maokai flashes, but still gets tagged up, and Gaudier takes down Maokai.
And like I mentioned before, if Gaudier comes up to my top lane and I'm baking, I'm gonna give all the kills to Gaudier because he's just gonna get stronger, faster, just, you know, better. He's a machine right now, and look at him. He's just gonna take it down with the Tiger Stance as well, fairly easily.
Want to look for the flank. Zoe is coming up. Fed1 has the double buff, jumps on to Gaudier, might be able to burst him down, and Zoe's able to assassinate him. Bacon hit up by the Sleepy Bubble Trouble, and Fed1 is still here with the double buff. That should be a double kill for the Zoe here. Barracuda Nice roam up there in the top lane. And Gaudier, not as much of a god as he might think right now. 2-1-0 now.
Hey.
Overstays a little bit and gets caught out.
Gods can die. Kratos has already showed us that gods can die from that God of War game. All right, so, well, either way, yes, God, you're not immortal, just a god.
Just a god, and gods can bleed.
Oh yeah, God can bleed, and yeah, good enough for us.
Maokai, though, coming up here behind the lane. Ikea doesn't get tagged up by the tornado, so he should be okay. Season 8 DLC just going to help his bot lane push this. We do see Ornn coming down, but now Zoe is trapped in between a rock and a tiger. But now Fed1 wants to come in and try to help, but Gaudier is able to flash over him and take down Zoe before Fed1 is able to help him out. Now Bacon might be caught out here in between the team. Blaxican misses the grand entrance. Mr. Wish, though, gets caught up by the quickness. A lover's quarrel there. Flashes out, but is taken down by the Ignite. But Fed1 is able to pick up Lucian on the backside on a killing spree. But he wants some more. He's chasing down Blaxican. Jumps onto D-Loon, though. The grand entrance might keep him off for just a little bit, but the red buff and the auto attacks are able to get him another double kill. 5-0-2. Fed1 is fed indeed.
And that is a huge play for GE right here. They pick up 4 in that dragon pit. There was not even a single dragon there, but they still get a fight down at the bottom. And honestly, I was thinking to myself, why was EA Season 8 at the bottom right now? I mean, it would be a huge mistake to put your bot lane on the top, but there's no tower where they can run under to for safety. But you know, at least EA was there. Bacon had to be there. He didn't have his teleport. It was on cooldown, and that was just a splendid fight. Sure, Barracuda gets caught out and died, but it was very much worth it for the rest of the team for GE here because they get to spend big. And Fed1, he had 1,900 gold before. Now he's back to 2,000. He went from 5,000 to 7,400 in that single fight. And Barracuda, since he was the first one to die, still ended up pretty much on top of that as well. He was at about the same amount of gold, just 1,000 less. So he has 1,200 in his pocket. Mr. Wish dying early. I mean, sort of sucks that he got focused on, but that's what AD carry. That's what happens when you play AD carry, right? You're gonna get focused on.
ADCs are just a walking sack of gold right now.
Yeah, except for Mr. Wish, but Call of the Forge God.
Call of the Forge God coming out, does hit the Jen on the grand entrance, but then a nice shockwave, but it isn't gonna matter because 3 members are gonna go down. Barracuda tries to get some poke. Ooh, Gaudier locked up under the turret by Season 8 DLC, and that might be enough to turn it around. Ikea is getting low. The Lucian ultimate coming out, the culling. But Season 8 DLC, that is a tanky tree right there. And they make it a 1-for-2, trading 1 kill back, but still an advantage over to Schism, able to pick up the kills under the
it doesn't look like it's over yet. Bacon's being chased.
Recalling. Bacon might be going down here. Season 8 DLC does jump in on him, and Wish almost able to take him out. The Sleepy Bubble Trouble does pop though and takes him out. And Zaya with the ultimate, able to jump in, get the double kill. No! Oh, he does get it. The Orianna shield not enough, but Orianna comes in to trade back a kill on Mr. Wish. And now Barracuda and Season 8 DLC should be able to get the turret off the backhand of this.
If you go back on this, that's actually a 4-for-3 on the trade for GE, and they're going to pick up the tower, which puts them up by 500 gold right now. 400 gold. Make up your mind, client. But doesn't matter. GE are now up a little bit on gold here over Schism, but still, a little bit means they're just tied up right now. Unless you're about 5,000 gold, then you are just ahead of the team. Anything under 5,000 is not really that much of a problem. Not even 10,000, you have to make a miracle happen, and 20,000 is just what did you do wrong, and where did you do wrong, and you gotta change that up, and you gotta mix it up, and that's exactly what GE is doing right now in game number 2, because in game number 1, they faltered real bad. They were about that much gold behind, but now they're actually equal on the field in game number 2 here in 20 minutes in, and during all that there's 19 kills on the board by the way, so it's almost about a kill per minute.
And that is the ABL series we know and love, especially in this meta. Kills are the most important part of the game right now. We do see not only 3 kill advantage for Guardian Esports, sorry, but also the double Drake. But even with those, they are still even on goals. Just plenty of CS advantages for SKZ Esports, mainly on this Lucian. 40 CS over Xayah, really bringing up that gold deficit. We'll see if he's able to use that effectively. We know how quickly AD carries can pop in these fights, and if Lucian goes down, that is a huge portion of their gold missing from their fights. Barakua looking for these snipes, isn't able to find one quite yet. Mr. Witch now does have his Storm Razor, but now Season DLC flashes over with the ultimate. Fed wants to go, well, Fed one just gets popped. No, Fed one actually does the popping. Blackskin gets popped on the Rakan. Call of the Forge God isn't gonna do anything. Bacon sitting off on the side, not able to get into that fight. And
that
now
was a rented flash.
Advantage. We got a number advantage now for Guardian Esports. They might look towards Baron. Might try to bait the Baron. There is some vision on it. Sleepy Bubble Trouble onto the Ornn. Now Fed one is going to go in on him. No, he wants to go on in the back line. He assassinates Ikea. Nice shockwave though. Gets him under the turret, but D-Lune is going to pay for his life for that. Fed one gets a double kill, but he wants back in under the turret. Bacon is low, but not low enough. Fed one has to back out. Now Barakua going to take a couple of turret shots himself.
Man, I just rubbed my luck off onto Barracuda here. I was saying how bad Zoe was gonna be, and just doing really well right now.
You anti-caster curse.
No, it's balance. It's balance, I swear.
Nope,
but regardless,
it was the caster curse.
Regardless, though, I wanted to talk about what Barracuda has.
Unfairly.
I wanted to talk about what Barracuda has right now. He has the most CS, he has a Luden's Echoes, and he has a Lichbane. He doesn't even have completed boots, but why does that matter? You know, you're doing this damage.
You're just killing everybody.
Yeah, exactly, and that's exactly what happened to Bloxican. Bloxican uses the quickness, and he tries to get on the dive, but gets Nature's Grass rooted down, gets Sleepy Bubble troubled, and then Blade Caller really rooted down, and as soon as he was able to walk away, it was already too late, because now the ultimate, it was not just wearing off, but he had to use it for an
you gotta
escape.
be careful here. Call of the Forge God coming out. Bacon gonna hit up the Janna here, but it doesn't look like they're gonna go for anything. Pretty Boy had to flash away from that one. So that is a flashless Janna for the next fight. Sleepy Bubble Trouble lands onto the Rakan, but he is able to dash away to safety.
Lucky.
Nothing comes out of that.
Yeah, like I mentioned before, with the Zoe kill Rakan, especially Rakan, because then they have 0 engage. Who are they going to wait for? Bacon? Like, Bacon's not going to do much when it comes to running against a Nature's Grass, which is the size of a football field, just running from one goal line to the other, or running from one field goal to the other, just in a straight line. And you're not going to get close to the enemy like that at all. And I like that Fed one played really aggressive there. He flashes on top of Ikea, noticing how low his health was. And, you know, the amount of burst that Xin Zhao does, if you're less than half, I'm pretty sure Xin Zhao is just going to, like, 1 or 2 shot you fairly quickly there. Just, you know, as soon as you blink, you're dead. So right now, Gaudier, I don't even want to talk about him. He's a big disappointment so far. All the hype has just drained down out of me.
He's got the most kills on his team.
No, okay, yes, but he also has one of the most deaths as well. So no, I want to look at Fed one.
He has the same deaths as the rest of their team.
Fed one is 7.
The only one with T deaths.
Fed one is 7 and 1 and 4. So he's been into if the numbers are right, he's been into 13. No, 11 out of those 14 fights, he's been with his team there, and wow, that's a lot of damage from Barracuda there. And look at EA, able to split push. Oriana's going to be able to answer to the Maokai here up to the top side, and look at GE. They are just ruling the map right now, but Bacon, though, he has eyes on the prize here. He wants to get this bot tier 2 tower, and he's going to be able to because it was already at about 15% health. Rakan's back at
over there.
base.
They might be able to just take the Baron. Bacon does that teleport. He is going to use it behind the pit. This could spell trouble.
Oh.
He's going to back off here, but they are flanked. Maokai uses the ultimate. By catching out Ikea uses the Culling. Now Bacon goes down on the wrong side of the fight. Now Ikea, he's on the wrong side of the map as well, but it doesn't look like they're going to pursue him. They want back on the Baron with Bacon dead now. Blackskin has to jump over the wall, but Gaudier is over here. He has vision on the pit. There it goes. They place down a control ward. Gaudier has flash. Can he pull off the miracle play? Can he become a true god?
Can he get redemption from week 1?
Baron down to about half HP. Blackskin trying to step up just to hit vision. Sleepy Bubble Trouble comes out, but Ikea popping Pretty Boy. D-Loon getting the kill for it. But now Blackskin might go down. Dirty is about to take him. The flashes in to get the kill, and that is Mr. Wish taking down Blackskin. But Gaudier is just sitting in this bush, so patient, doesn't want to join the fight, but he is going to back now. Ikea, they're having to flash away from Barracuda, respecting the damage, and everybody's going to back off now. Baron will not be taken. Looks like Guardian Esports is going to settle for this Mountain Drake, and I definitely don't think Schism can or should contest this one.
And speaking of damage, the Mountain Drake coming out at a convenience. You can't kill the Baron fast enough? Well, I'm here. I'm available. I give the right buff for that problem. So that's going to be the Mountain Drake. I bet it's going to be the second Mountain Drake. And it is a second Mountain Drake after that because I have hindsight. And I know that, you know, even the Summoner Rift is all like, all right, let's see this game end in a bang. So 2 Mountain Drakes. If GE is able to pick this up, then the Baron is just a lot more easier for them to take. Later on in the game, most of their damage is on Barracuda, so you really can't depend on Mr. Wish doing the damage on top of this Baron, especially since he doesn't have IE and he is far from behind to even build that up. He's barely going to be at 1200 gold, and he needs 1300 for each BF sword, and then after that just needs an extra 1100 because it is a total of 3600 gold to get the IE to finish off and get the actual damage. So he's going to be able to help out and shred this Baron, but I believe GE has to be careful here because Barracuda is on the top side. Once again, he is most of their damage, 616, but they do have Fed one with a 7-1 and 6, and this might be looking to be an engage.
And nice shockwave there. Call Force Shot comes out, but Blackskin can just get popped before he can stun anybody else. Season 8 DLC is on the front line. He gets really low. Gaudier goes in. Bacon has to dash out, but now Fed 1 is in the fight. He's getting onto a half health. Udyr, not Udyr, Orin getting hit by the stupid bubble trouble. Mr. Wish getting really low though. Fed 1 flashing to pick up that kill, but he might go down because of it. No, he won't. He's gonna stay alive. Barracuda, he can bubble trouble onto the Oriana. She uses cleanse and flash to get away.
But Barracuda picks up
with
the flash,
and he's gonna flash in and take out D-Loon.
Oh, B-Loon.
That fight was over so quickly. A
B-Loon
2-0 for the side of Guardian Esports, and now they are going to take down the bottom turret. They have a huge wave here. They can honestly just keep pushing. Red buff going to be donated over to Mr. Wish.
Yeah, they could
honestly.
honestly.
Even going to use this wave though.
They could honestly keep pushing, but you know, they were tied up, so might as well use the gold that you've earned to get even more higher on the scoreboard. And right now, Barracuda is sitting at 3,300 gold. Like,
oh no.
Oh no.
So much.
If only I had $5 per gold he has, I would be a rich man. I would still be casting just with a better system and bring you guys even more stuff, so it would be awesome. But Barracuda, he has two death caps, 2 needlessly large rods. They are very much needed right now. And into the death cap, which then be developed to here soon. It's not that much gold. He does already have 400 in his back pocket right now, so he's not that far away. At the same time, neither is is Mr. Wish. Mr. Wish, once again, he's just missing 2300 gold to finish into the IE, which is going to be even more damage. But once again, Barracuda is doing really well in these team fights. Audio, you believed I have Caster Kirsten, but honestly, he's just doing even better than before. He's just flexing on people with these portal jumps, and here comes the sprint
now
full
we have
on.
Bedwood going into the fight. He's able to find anybody out. The slows are coming through. The culling coming out from Lucian going to be canceled right away. But that is enough, scared them off. They're just going to turn on Baron here. They cleared out all the vision. And now they're going to try to bait this Baron. I think Schism knows what's going on. Are they going to come to try to stop it? It's already down to half health. That Mountain Drake is putting in work. Gaudier here has the flash. Can he get in?
No, he got rooted up. He can't move.
Or Maokai is going to go over there and stun him up. And now Fed1 wants to fight. Can he get in, though? Or Maokai does not have his ultimate this time, but Fed1 is able to jump in. Knock up Bacon, Sleeping Bubble Trouble on the Orianna. The ultimate comes out from Zinzao. Bacon slinking away with just a little bit of health, but Fed1 does pick him up there with the W. But the rest of Schism is going to walk away clean.
This is this is Guardian Esports at their best, and this is exactly what I want to see from them at their best all the time, every day, every single second of it.
Oh, Sleeping Bubble Trouble there on the Lucian. He's going to be okay, though. I don't think Barracuda had vision on him, so.
No, they don't. They don't, because they're just sitting in their base. There's no wards down there, and if they did have wards, that tower was the one that was going to give them. Yeah, their front line's dead. I mean, Bacon is their only front line. Gaudier has to be split pushing, but he's not able to at all. Maybe he should have gotten Spellbook instead of Phase Rush, so he can trade out his Smite later on, but then again, he will lose out his jungle item, but he could just opt in for even more damage and attack speed. Could have sold his Warrior's Blade to get a Triforce, maybe. I don't know. Just anything with more damage and get the split pushing working, but it doesn't seem like that is the plan at the moment here. SKZ still has to focus down on the 5-man, and here comes another engage.
And here, Call of the Forge God coming in and tagging up some members, but it's not going to do a whole lot. And now the Maokai ultimate coming in, but that's also going to whip, but it's enough to push the members of Schism back so that Guardian Esports can take down that tier 2 turret. But that was a lot of ultimates blown, or that was, you know, a good Maokai ultimate blown for just that tier 2 turret that's not going to be available for them in engage for this next fight. We'll see if they're still able to push in. They have the Baron. Fed1 is still able to jump in. They might be waiting on Barracuda. Lands the Sleepy Bubble Trouble onto the Lucian, but he dashes back out of the way. But that's enough for Fed1 to say, I'm going in. Pops the ultimate, jumps in. Mr. Wish with the Rue Caller. The calling coming out from the Lucian, but it's not going to really hit anybody. Bacon has to flash away. And now Guardian Esports is just going to take the turret, take the inhibitor. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. They're going to take a Nexus turret. They're going to take 2. They're just going to take the game here as Season 8 DLC goes in to just be disruptive on the backline. And Guardian Esports ties it up 1-1.
And Guardian Esports don't just tie it up 1-1. They tie it up with the second. Oh, sorry. I think it's third. Wait. With the second best team in the ABL, which is Schism Esports. Just round of applause there to just get 1 L on the second best team in the standings. So that is pretty good, unless I got their standings wrong. But wait, what? Why do I have? Yeah, they're tied. Wait, there's a 3-way tie for second right now in ABL. But either way,
everybody's the best.
Barracuda, you know, he did really well on that Zoe, and I'm expecting a Zoe ban because I expected it in this picks and ban phase, and they didn't do it, or just like, you know what, let's let Barracuda have the Zoe. Well, you know, you get an L for that now because you gave him his champion, and it looked like that was his champion because he played it off really well there, giving the tide for GE, carrying the game on his back right now, and that is really looking good for GE.
Absolutely. Another great game coming out from Guardian Esports versus Schism. This is turning out to be an exciting series indeed. The standings are now tied 1-1 in this series, and we'll get to see coming up if Schism is able to shake it up. The kind of, snowballing comp worked for them in the first game, but with some good, smart target bans by Guardian Esports in the second game pick and ban phase, they were able to push Schism onto a little bit more of a team fight focused composition. And although Gaudier did get his signature champion, he wasn't able to be the split push presence that he likes to be out there. So we'll see if coming up they are able to really turn that around, if they're able to adapt to this Guardian Esports team that just came out in full force this second game. And hopefully we will have a a continuously interesting series out of these two teams as they battle for the series victory.
So GE wants to get out of the rank 7 board at the bottom here. This is still week 4, so I believe they haven't went against. Let me see their schedule. It must have been tough for them. So they went against Conqueror Gaming and Cynical Esports, and then Full Send Gaming. Yeah, it was a pretty tough schedule for them. But actually, Cynical Esports might be looking a bit different though, because they did lose out 3 of their good players, which is Irotaz, Kitten, Long Kitty, and dang, I forgot the other guy. But they did lose out 3 of their members, so they are also running an entirely new roster, the same as Guardian Esports, though. This is not the same roster that Guardian Esports has started off in the beginning of week 1, and they actually had complications with their roster as well. I'm hoping that other teams or other players that are watching right now who are interested in a team, I would hit up Guardian Esports maybe to get it with their organization, help them out. If you think you are a major playmaker, that would be awesome, because that's what we want in the ABL. There's so many teams. There's so many teams out there that have all great players. They're all great players. The only thing that is just what causes this sort of balance in the standings is just the drafts, the way they're played off, and everything else that is just included. So it's really good. I do believe like all these teams are pretty tied up. It's just getting to know one another. Guardian Esports is one of the new teams that has started up, while and so Team Enigma as well. While the rest of the teams, they're sort of veterans with some veteran players as well, so they've already know the capabilities of other teams, and they've been free agents for a while, and they've also got picked up, and even some veterans got together with other veterans to build a good team. So Guardian Esports, though, I wouldn't count them out. I believe on their news story on the ABL website, they have a title, a championship finalist. So, but because of these issues with their roster, they really don't have their main players right now. But Barracuda is one of those main players, and we did see that why they have a championship title, because of players like Barracuda, and Fed One also did really well. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm just gonna give my vote more on that Barracuda. I mean, this is not the end of the stream. I'm just saying, just rambling on, because it is 1-on-1, 1-1 on the scoreboard. We're gonna go into game number 3 here very much soon, and if I was the players right now mentally, I would probably give this at least a bit of time on the wrist. So, and that's exactly what it looks like, to be honest here. So let's go ahead and head on to an intermission. I do apologize if I have to put into an intermission right now, but we are gonna have to talk with the teams. Let's see how they're feeling, and let's get this hype right away onto the screen. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back here on the ABL to cast the third and final game between Guardian Esports and Schism Esports. Hello and welcome back, and it's good to be back, and I'm going to be playing Godhammer because this is the tie-breaking moment here between Guardian Esports and SKZ, or Schism Esports, I would say. And this is just so exciting, so much hype mode here. Zoe gets banned out, and that is right, Schism, because Barracuda on the Zoe puts you guys with your tails between your legs and made you guys run for your money. I mean, where's the bets here? We need some live betting.
Oh wait, I gotta get into the spectate.
Oh my
Oops.
god, wait, did I not show you this? Wait.
No, like in the actual lobby.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, definitely Barracuda betting away that Zoe is quintessential. He did so good on that champion. But also the Zindao going back over to Guardian Esports.
Red one
gonna get that again, and he did amazing on that champion. But that means that Schism is gonna get both the Xayah and the Recon now that they are on red side. This is the first time we've seen the duo together this series. Both teams have first picked it in their previous games. And I believe it's won both times. Has it? Or no, I think it.
No, one and one. Yeah.
But
one
either way,
one.
we now see it go together. But also, Guardian Esports picking up the Morgana that Schism used to counter the Recon in the first game. So although the duo is together, Recon's initiation is going to be so much harder to hit.
The brand, yes, get brand.
Oh, I'm on the wrong tab. I'm on the delay. I was watching the stream.
No, don't watch the stream. Didn't I send you a link, or they give you a link?
You did. I'm here.
Okay. All right.
We have the brand picked up there for Guardian Esports, and we actually don't know if that's mid or bottom lane.
Oh, yeah.
Bottom lane is a thing, so that can be a flex pick, especially with the Morgana. She's able to land a binding that can mean pretty much instant death for anybody down there.
So let the song play on, because this is the tiebreaker once again, and we're seeing these bans a little bit more serious, and all along with these picks as well. SKZ did not even spare one moment from picking Xayah and Recon. It was just instant. If my fingers didn't hurt, I would have snapped my fingers and you guys would have heard it, but my fingers are hurting. But my entire hands are hurting, both of them. But regardless though, Bed 1 has Zinzhao, who only died maybe like once or twice, but I'm 100% sure it was only once, which is just insane. The Anivia gets banned out. We haven't seen Anivia. Orianna gets banned out, but I don't believe that I forgot what's his name, but I don't believe Dylan did that well with the Orianna. I believe he fell down especially hard into the pipes there, couldn't get the items that he needed. The Galio is going to get banned out, which is good as well, because you have brand. You don't want to get caught up in any shockwaves. You don't want to get caught up in any Hextech ultimatums. You don't want to get blinded by the Nocturne ultimate, and you definitely don't want to get taunted and just popped on by Galio. So especially with the reduction of his ult as well, you want that ultimate to bounce on everyone. Gangplank is looking to be picked up.
Bacon on that Gangplank you were talking about. You wanted to see him play. You said you wanted to see Season 8 play that champion, but he will not be playing against that champion though. But Season 8 is very proficient on that Gangplank, so he should know how to play against it. So I'm expecting him to pick some sort of counter up there in the top lane. We've seen him, I believe, on the Maokai, as well as the Darius is what he picked the first game, and now he's going to go back to that. So Season 8 wants to get aggressive in this top lane. And his last pick is going to show us whether that brand is actually mid or if it's in the bottom lane.
I'm not sure if Darius is a good matchup for Gangplank though. I'm not too sure about that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a bit iffy on that, and that's gonna be an Aurelion Soul. And yes, it is. It's a brand ADC.
It is a brand in the bottom lane. Get those marksmen out of my lane. Guardian Esports, we criticized them earlier for not getting with the times with the patches, and now they're saying, we got it. We know what's going on. We know what's meta, and we're going to play it. And I love it. I think AD carries just aren't really in a great spot right now, but Brand is. He is one of the most dominant champions in both the mid lane, bot lane, and support role.
And
that is how strong he is.
I'm so excited for Brand. He's a living, proof of a real Ignite champion, because that is just going to be so strong. And also, he's a bit slow, you know, you can easily catch out Bran. Why not, right? He's not one of those champions that have any escapes at all. So, what else is there? Oh, you have Morgana as your support, so the Black Shield's definitely gonna block out a lot of those CCs. You won't suffer the knockups from the Grand Entrance on the Rakan. You won't even suffer the Blade Caller from Xayah, but you still will suffer those auto attack damage regardless either way. And then the Sejuani is one of the only targets right next to the Rakan, along with the Gangplank, who's gonna be building up health, on which the brand is gonna just rise and shine, throw in that ult and then the pillar combo, and then just walk away, watch them burn and watch their health melt down to just a sliver of health, which is gonna let Fed 1 to be able to just completely finish them off bit by bit. Maybe Darius might be able to just get 3 or maybe max stacks regardless anyways to get the ult down as well for the ultimate dunk. And then the Aurelion Sol is just Aurelion Sol, right? He's the center of the universe, so he's going to be the center of these team fights as well, with those celestial stars and the expansion when it comes to those abilities. So it's going to be really good for this.
And we see the team from Guardian Esports very heavily focused on team fighting. We have lots of AoE damage coming out from Aurelion Sol, Bran, Darius, Morgana, and kind of Xin Zhao. He's more single target, but he's a little bit of AoE, I guess. So it is going to be definitely hard for Schism to fight them. I highly expect them to probably go more for a 1-3-1 or even just a 1-4, having Gangplank split push, because that is going to be how you fight this Guardian Esports composition, is by pulling their team apart, keeping them away from each other. But easier to said than done with an Aurelion Sol who loves to roam around the map. And with as many team fights we've seen in this series, I definitely give my draft win over to Guardian Esports here. I think they've adapted very well to these games. They've realized that this is a team fight meta, but that it's also an early team fight meta and not really one of a scaling. And if you look at Schism Esports, they've kind of reverted from their aggressive playstyle that worked for them in game 1 back to a more scaling composition. You have the 3 carries on there, Gangplank, Cassiopeia, and Xayah, who all want to scale, who all need those 2-3 items before they really start doing a lot of damage, in comparison to Guardian Esports Brand, Darius, and Xin Zhao, who just kind of need 1 item before they really start getting going. So Schism Esports kind of have 3 losing lanes here and a losing jungle matchup. So they are going to have to pull out something incredibly special to be able to get themselves far enough ahead to last into that late game. But if they are able to find their way to that 30-40 minute mark, although we haven't really seen that happen very often, I think the damage coming out from them is going to be absolutely insane. It's just going to be a matter of getting there. And against the very aggressive team composition that Guardian Esports has put together, it's going to be tough.
And not just that, you did mention that Aurelion Sol is going to be able to roam around a lot. Comet of Legend goes really far and wide and ignores every single terrain, is very quick as well. Cassio might be able to clear out the waves, yes, but doesn't even matter if Cassio gets even a head start. The Comet of Legend is just, way too quick. It's almost like Talia on the Weaver's Wall, getting on in and, regrouping on the team, which is going to be really, really strong as well, because you do have to get these roams down. If you don't get any of these roams down, then you have a flat chance or a fat chance of just losing out against SKZ, because SKZ now, at first they had a 6-shooter revolver on one hand, and now they're going to go with the double man Glock on both hands, and they're going to be firing away against GE right now. So, it's tiebreaker time. If you're number 2 in the standings or in the league, then you shouldn't be losing to number 7. So number 7 right now looking really good, to be honest. I mean, they got 1L on the number 2 team, which there is a 3-way tie for number 2. But if they lose to Guardian Esports, it just doesn't just look good for Guardian Esports, especially with their new roster and new lineup. It also it's gonna be pretty bad for SKZ, because now, you know, they're gonna be dropped down to number 3 or potentially number 4 on the standings.
Absolutely. Guardian Esports looking to make a huge upset here in this series, and they are in a good position to do it with a very strong draft coming into the 3rd game, tied 1-1 against the 2nd ranked team in this league. We'll see how they are able to play against the team. Obviously, if Schism Esports is able to just dominate every lane with their superior mechanics, then, you know, compositions don't really matter. But, you know, if Guardian Esports is able to prove that, you know, hey, we might have had a rough start, but we belong right up there with the best of them. We can compete with you guys. This is their time to show that. This is their proving grounds where they get to show the whole league who they are and, you know, what they can actually do. And in a little over a minute, after we finish the spectator delay, we can actually watch that.
Okay, so I'm watching the standings right now. If SKZ loses tonight's game, then and Full Send Gaming, if they win their game tomorrow, then they can actually be put into 6th place or into 5th.
Wow.
Tied with Cynical Esports. Yes, SKZ can actually fall from the number 2 spot all the way less than half on the standings. So
just goes to show how close the competition here is in the ABL. Even though, you know, the teams, there might be a 5 ranking difference between these 2 teams, all of the teams are very similar in skill level. So it can just be, you know, 1 or 2 small wins that separate these teams, but they are all phenomenal players.
And I think the games tomorrow, because we got FSG versus CQR, Conqueror Gaming, I think the game to watch tomorrow has to be Team Enigma versus Cerberus. So, because if Cerberus beats Team Enigma, then that makes them, you know, tied up number 1 with Enigma, which is going to be insane if they get the 2-0, but they have to get the 2-0. I'll explain that more tomorrow whenever I get to stream up for tomorrow's games. But right now, it's all about Guardian Esports and Schism. And Schism, you know, for them to stay on top of this leaderboard, they gotta win this game. And even if they do win this game, they are on a potential threat of still landing in the top 3 or 4. But it's better than landing on 5 or 6 on the rankings anyway. So.
Well, we are into the game now, waiting for the champions to drop into the spawn fountain.
Oh, the sweethearts! The sweetheart skins, they got them! Oh my god!
Sweethearts.
They're so in sync!
Ikea and Blaxican.
Oh,
Ooh, we are already in a pause.
I'm in love right now.
Mid laner from Schism, so it looks like Burakua is having some connection issues.
Ikea and Blaxican just showing their true love in the bot lane, having the same skin and everything. I mean, if you're an ADC, why wouldn't you show so much support for your support? You know what I mean? Like, run the same skin, for crying out loud. They even gave it to you on a platter. So, you know, just if one of them didn't have the same skin, I would say there's no true love in the bot lane for SKZ, but there is true love in the bot lane. They have the sweetheart skins, and I'm so happy for it. I don't know why, I just am.
We'll see if they're able to carry that synergy over to the laning phase if they are up against Brand and Morgana. A rough lane for an AD carry with some nerfed base stats in the last couple of patches. But the pause is over. It looks like Burakua finished his connection issues, and all 5 members of Guardian Esports are moving out as a unit. This is the ABL we know and love. These are our 5-man invades.
Oh, I don't know about love. I mean, nah, just kidding. I do love ABL.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Okay, so, Barracuda, I don't know what you're doing. You can't hide anywhere. Your stars are going to give up to your team, and oh no. Why?
Another pause.
Why? No, it was going so good. It was going so insane, and oh man, I don't. Wait, why is he in front anyways? Why is Dr. Wish in front? Mr. Wish, sorry. Oh, okay, Pretty Boy's in front too.
A summoner has reconnected.
Connection? I think those are ready ups. I don't have the chat up. Do you have the chat up?
Which chat?
Like the in-game
The
chat. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're not ready yet.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what is going on. We did just get the ready ups in the chat, so hopefully the pause will come offline soon. We did get the ready ups in the chat. I don't know exactly what's going on. Here we go. The unpause is coming through, and now Guardian Esports still moving out as one through the jungle, and they spot IKEA. Pretty Boy flashes with the binding, but doesn't actually connect. Does blow IKEA's flash though, so that is a summoner down for the ADC.
Yeah.
Now Schism's taking this opportunity to push into the opposite jungle, place down a couple wards. Well, one ward, but.
Did not pull an EA there, flashing and still getting binded at the end. Just flashing and completely dodging the binding. It would have been horrible, but we do see double corrupting pots. And is that a stopwatch? Yes, it is a stopwatch on the Aurelian Soul. But guess who else has a stopwatch as well? That D-Lun.
Cassiopeia.
Yeah, but this is interesting though. I don't think I've ever seen a Gangplank start with the Sapphire Crystal and 3 health pots.
I definitely seen it quite a bit. Actually, it just gives you a little more mana for poking with your Q. Especially against these melee matchups. If you spam your Q a lot, it can run out of mana extremely quickly. So the Sapphire Crystal just gives him a couple extra Qs in the early game before he runs out. Able to stack that Kleptomancy a couple more times, but right away in the bot lane, we see nice W landed there by Mr. Wish.
I believe Miss IKEA is going to be getting poked back behind the minions because of the potential damage from Mr. Wish and Pretty Boy, especially since one Dark Binding just means a huge follow. And there goes the Dark Binding. Great Grand Entrance to avoid it.
To take the Grand Entrance level 1 just to avoid that.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's still a good ability.
But Season 8 DLC is collapsing here on Gadir down in the river, pops the Ghost, and Gadir flashes away, but I don't think it's going to be enough. First Blood going over to Barracuda.
Wait, I'm so confused. Why didn't Fed 1 get an assist there? He dashed at him. That's damage, isn't it?
He dashed at him, but he died before.
Oh, Dark Binding lands.
The Dark Binding lands as well as the W. Blackskin decides to use the Grand Entrance in though and excites Mr. Witch. And Mr. Witch is going to pop before they're able to pick up the kill, and Blackskin is going to list. Now Pretty Boy might be in trouble. Lands the Dark Binding onto IKEA, and he is going really low. But Pretty Boy is still here. Lots of auto attacks coming out from Pretty Boy, and he is going to live. But that is a kill going over to Blackskin there. Unfortunately, wasn't able to go over to the Xayah, but nice turnaround there by Blackskin. The Dark Binding does whiff. That probably would have been the kill there.
Oh,
but
definitely.
Good dodge by IKEA.
Definitely would have been the kill there. And I'm actually sitting here thinking, why didn't Mr. Wish flash to dodge the Grand Entrance? If he would have just dodged it.
I don't think he expected the damage to really come through there.
Yeah.
I think he thought he'd be okay, but Xayah does have a lot of bursts. Ability Ignite did get buffed a while ago to have a bit more damage. So Mr. Wish just caught a little off guard there by all the bursts coming through from the enemy bot lane. Pretty Boy taking a bit of a turret shot. Nice W there by
Oh.
Mr. Wish.
Oh,
Lands
he
the
gets it!
Q2 and he kills him!
I told
The
you!
burn afterwards gets the kill.
I told you, Mr. Wish is a living Ignite. He's a living Ignite champion. Like, all he had to do was get the Pitler, and he gets his passive on him, which is Blaze. There you go, the Blaze passive, and it was just enough. Like IK was just at the peak of his last little health, and it was just enough to kill him.
And it pays off. Mr. Wish is able to get a kill back onto Ikea, and that really hurts because now Ikea is going to miss that huge minion wave that was pushed up to the turret. In the top lane, we do see Gaudier flanking around Season 8 DLC, and he is low on health, does not have his ghost available, does have the flash. Bacon Healthy is going in, flashes the Q, is going to get out. The W from Sejuani will miss as well. So good flash there by Season 8 DLC, but he's now without his summoner spells, and Bacon gets a little bit of breathing room.
Why is EA with that Darius skin? I like the God Darius skin. I forgot what it's called. Godwing Darius.
Maybe just wanted to mix it up. He did lose last time he did that other skin, so, you know, skins equal wins.
Yeah, it has to be the
trying to
style.
find the right skin to get his win there.
By the way, I like that Barracuda landed that Star Surge on Gaudier for the first blood kill. That was amazing play right there. I mean, he just knew where he was trying to escape through and just blocked him away, and it was just like a panic flash to try to get away still, but was not able to, and so far, so good.
Walking up, a black skin is sitting here in the bush waiting. He's just going to back off. We'll get spotted. I think coming out of that. But yeah, Barracuda definitely playing that extremely well. That was a great collapse by Guardian Esports. They are now up almost 1,000 gold, only 6 minutes in. Now Barracuda landing a couple of Celestial Stars here.
Oh, does have
Taking
Voice of
D-Loon
Light
down to
now.
taking D-Loon down to about a quarter health. D-Loon is also pretty low on mana. Now Pretty Boy wanting to walk up completely with the binding though, and that means Blackskin can go in for the grand entrance, but Black Shield will deter that. Fed one is here. Pretty Boy doesn't have binding quite yet, and now there it is, but it hits a minion.
He's whiffing those bindings, which is very important for these engages on the side of GE. He can't be missing them just
Absolutely.
like that at all.
Actually, both Mr. Wish and Pretty Boy both missing all of their CC.
Barracuda
If
coming
one of those
down.
lands, then they're gonna win. But Gaudier is here in the wings. Fed one there goes in on Ikea, and he's gonna pop. Barracuda gets the kill. Now Blackskin is in trouble, but now Guardian Esports is on the wrong side of the map. They're trapped between two turrets. Pretty Boy is getting low. D-Loon is just gonna start wailing on him, and D-Loon flashes in with the ultimate, gets the kill, but Fed one is gonna get D-Loon back. Then Fed one's gonna go down for it though. The kill goes over to Gaudier now once more. Nice grand entrance there by Blackskin to give Gaudier the double kill on Sejuani.
Huge little mix-up there for GE. They get caught out on the wrong end of the stick there. They came out on top, but they were just forced to just run up to the top in order to get the kills onto Ikea, especially onto Ikea, because he flashes out from the rebound there, and it was not a great idea for neither for GE to stay under the tower. I mean, they don't want to get hit by the tower. And actually, I just wanted to come to notice this. EA doesn't have teleport, by the way, and doesn't even have the spellbook to even change it to a teleport later on in the game.
Yeah, no, EA wanting to go for more of a offensive summoner spell combination with the Ghost. Hasn't been able to make use of it quite yet. I know he did help him get the first blood over to Barracuda there onto Gaudier. But hasn't been able to use it since. It is available now. He might be waiting in the wings to try to use it. Looks like he will just go back to lane, but you're right. Towards the mid-late game, it's going to be hard for him to answer these split pushes when he doesn't have teleports to rejoin the fight.
And not just that, I do like that Mr. Wish and EA on the top side, they have an amazing amount of lead of CS against their opposition.
Nice stun there by Barracuda, and he is starting to poke down D-Loon, putting down a good amount of damage. Barracuda 3-0 on this Aurelion Soul here, doing a very good job.
Oh, nice binding.
Nice dark binding there by Mr. Wish into the Brand W and stun. Okay, will burn down a little bit, but now Barracuda's in the top lane. Ghost pop by Season 8 DLC is going to get stunned up by Barracuda, and a nice Q into the ultimate, and Barracuda picks it up, and he is now on a rampage. Ikea's going to burn down, even though Mr. Wish dies. He's able to get a kill on the backhand. Pretty Boy uses the ultimate to stun up Gaudier so he can't chase anymore. Nicely played by him. And it's a 1-for-1 trade in the bottom lane, but a 1-for-0 in the top lane. And Aurelion Sol now 4-0, 8 CS up. He is an animal.
I like that Mr. Wish dies, but still gets the kill at the end from the ignite and the blaze. Yeah, and the explosion. So that's a really good trade for him. I mean, he's already beating Ikea by a landslide here on the early game with 62
look
CS.
At the CS differential between them. You can just see Mr. Ikea not able to step up to take any of that CS, just getting constantly poked down.
Actually, the CS lead is all positives on the side of GE right now. They're firing on all cylinders. They want to win this game, and they should. They have to. Great stun. Oh, dodges petrifying gaze.
Dodge on the Cassiopeia ultimate by Barracuda, but now Gaudier is coming over on the side. Barracuda spots him and is going to back off. But nice little jukes there, able to get the ultimate out without spending anything really of his own. Pretty Boy uses the Black Shield on himself to try to deter Blaxican. Nice binding there onto Ikea, and now Mr. Wish wants to go in. Barracuda is here. The ultimate comes out from Xayah, but it's not really going to do anything. They do take a Pretty Boy on the side, and now a flash out there by Blacksky, but Ikea is just getting chased down. He has to go back in to avoid the stars, but that's just going to give Mr. Wish the kill.
But the stars can be moved back as well, so there's really no dodging such things. And that's a blasting one, by the way, with an amplifying tome. So I think he's building a Abyssal Scepter first item, and why the heck wouldn't you? I mean, now your stars are going to be causing a slow end.
You're getting caught out in the river. Uses the W to try to slow down Fed1. Uses the ultimate as well. Now D-Lune is coming in. There might be Fed1 getting a little low. It is 2v3. Nice grand entrance, knocks up 2. Fed1 is getting really low, but here comes D-Lune 4-0, but he's low on mana. Can he pick up the kills? Nice charm there by Blaxican. Gets all 3. A stopwatch pulled, and now Season 8 DLC is in the fight, uses the ult, not able to pick it up. Hurricane is able to get the kill for himself, now 5-0. Not enough mana to chase, though.
Oh, I think Barracuda is dead. Oh, no! He got away just by an inch, just by a sliver of a second, he got away. And that is a great engage from GE here. They are just killing it on every single spot. Mr. Wish is able to 1v1 Ikea as well and outfarm him at the same time. So that is huge. And right now, GE is getting even bigger at that. They don't have any towers taken down, but that does not matter. The Rift is going to go into the hands of Guardian Esports. And Guardian Esports, they're going to tell the world right now that they are capable of getting back onto the standings. And that Rift immediately is going to be used up. There goes the stun.
Oh, Barracuda gets stunned up under the turret. Not taking turret aggro, though, but he's going to get... Now he's taking turret aggro. Doesn't get stunned up by the Sejuani. Shelly will take down the turret to try to help Barracuda get out. Shelly's done her job, and now she will return to the void from whence she came.
No. I like Herald.
A nice stun there by D-Lune, but not enough damage to follow it up. Oh, Blaxican getting spicy. Pretty Boy recalling on a ward does interrupt it, forcing Pretty Boy to kill that ward first.
Mr. Wish can honestly 1v1 Ikea and Blaxican right now.
Oh, absolutely, as he is able to land his shots. Brand puts out a stupid amount of damage. And I want to mention, if you look over onto Schism Esports, they do have 6 kills, but 5 of those kills are over onto their tank jungler and their engaged support, not the members you want to have your gold on. The only carry that has a kill is D-Lune, and it is only 1 kill. Whereas if you look at, Guardian Esports, all 8 of their kills are on their 2 carries. So the gold is much more favorably distributed on Guardian Esports, which really just compounds on top of the 4,000 gold lead that they already have. So Guardian Esports in a very great spot with this composition. We'll see if they're able to snowball it throughout the mid and late game.
Oh,
Barracuda getting caught by the Sejuani ultimate and grounded by Cassiopeia. He's getting really low. He is going to take out Shutdown. Gold goes to D-Loom. That is a 750 gold payday for the Cassiopeia. She's going to love that.
yeah, that's a new diamond ring there, or just the Emperor's Embrace. Well, not the full item. What's the item before that? Oh, Lost Tome. Okay, Lost Chapter, I mean. And GE is getting this first Ocean Drake, so still, objective-wise, GE is winning around the map, has 2 towers, 1 kill above as well, and now also taking up the Rift with the Dragon. 5-1 still for Barracuda there. He did really well in the early game. He's able to clear out the waves. I thought Cassio, or D-Land's Cassio, was going to be able to clear up the waves first, but it's actually the other way around, and Barracuda is able to clear the waves and get that legend, Comet of Legend, to roam around the map. Now, he does have the Abyssal Scepter, which is going to cause his ability to give out slows. And wait a minute, GE and SKZ, they're all spotted on the top side. No one's bot, no one's mid. There's a potential fight here.
All 5 members of each team are up here on the top side, and it's about to get spicy. SKZ Schism setting up a Fnatic death push here. D-Land walks up, gets hit by the binding though. A nice W there by Mr. Wish, catches 2. Pretty Boy tanks 1 terror shot, but everything's gonna be okay. They run out of the minion wave, so they're not able to engage on that nice binding there by Pretty Boy, but D-Land down to 3/4 health.
Yeah, and
Now
the siege will
Esports-
go on.
Now Guardian Esports has their minion wave, and so they can push up again. But they're just going to give this one up. They know they can't fight the enemy team, not with a 5-1 Aurelion Soul and a 3-kill Brand. They just don't have the combat stats to take on Guardian Esports right now.
Look at Guardian Esports though. They're lingering inside their base right now, and there goes the Star Surge. It's not going to land.
Nice
Petrifying
ground on the
Gaze.
Aurelion Soul to stop the E from coming in, as well as a Petrifying Gaze. Just stun him up. That is the ultimate from Cassiopeia down. That is one defensive tool that she is missing.
Yep.
Really no effort on the side of Guardian Esports. They can just kind of group up and siege again with that cooldown down.
Once again, look at that. They're going to siege up again, and they have to because EA does not have teleport. So they're playing around EA right now, who cannot get into the team fights. And right now,
DLC wants in, and he's going to get D-Loon, and now Gaudier's in trouble as well. Mr. Wish taking a couple turret shots, but he's going to flash out to safety. And just 1 casualty. Pretty Boy goes super low. Might get taken out by Bacon. Bacon flashes over to the wall to get the Q on a Pretty Boy. And now they want to chase us. Nice stun on Zaya. She's going to be burning down, but Bacon wants to fight. Gaudier going in. A nice ult back there by the Xin Zhao. Saves his team. Now Bacon caught on the wrong side of the fight. Dunked there by DLC.
and I don't think he's
Dunk
done. He's
Master
going
Furious.
in. Oh,
Oh!
tower shots.
Mr. Wish takes a turret shot and goes down to Ikea. And that is a 600 gold going into the pocket of a crit ADC. That's gotta feel bad.
Yeah, so Bacon right now, he flashed and used the parlay to get the kill onto Pretty Boy there, so he does not have flash. He still does have teleport, but that sort of sucks that, you know, you have to roam down to the mid. You're not, the teleport right now is just sitting on your summoner spell key, but it's not really doing too much for you, especially for Dylan as well. He also has teleport, so I feel like these teleports are not being so useful on the side of SKZ right now, while Guardian Esports, they only have 1 teleport, and they're so confident that that is all that they need, and they don't even need it on EA. They don't even need it, the teleport on their top laner. They just want it on Barracuda because he's just going to get so big that he's going to be able to clear waves from a safe spot, well, especially landing all those great star surges as well for the knockups and the stun, well, not knockups, but just for the stuns there. And then now has the Rod of Ages, so now he has more health, more mana, 7 built up on that AP scale for the Dark Seal as well. And now it seems like GE, they are just going to knock on every single door all the way towards the inhibitor, because tier 2 tower for the bot side is looking to be the next target. And Pretty Boy on the front, Dark Binding hits a minion though, so
Feels bad.
feels bad.
Now, both blue buffs going to be taken for Guardian Esports. They actually both went on to Barracuda. I think they were trying to give that one to Mr. Wish because Barracuda already had one, but
Who cares though? Barracuda is one of the carries too.
It's just a buff refresh.
Yeah, buff refresh. That's all it needed to be done. But what's the matchup here on the top lane right now between EA and Bacon? Bacon, sure, he's going to be able to clear the waves, but if EA gets a jump onto Bacon, will Bacon lose that fight in a terrible, if he gets into a terrible situation, will Bacon be able to defend themselves against EA's Darius?
Yeah, I definitely think Darius is going to win that 1v1, especially with the Conquer. They do have similar items, but, you know, Darius just more raw stats than Bacon. So, you know, if he is able to lock down that Gangplank, it's going to be good night Gangplank.
Yeah, here comes the minion wave on the bot side here for Guardian Esports, and they want to continue on to the siege here. So this may be a possible fight. The Cannon Barrage is available for Bacon. Gaudier also has his ult available. Every single ult is available, and there are a lot less flashes on the side of Guardian Esports though, but that just means that Bloxican here, who has the flash down on the recon, is not going to be able to get a really great engage there by using the grand entrance into a great flash into a quickness as well. So not too much there. And EA, ooh, he's going to be looking to get ganked up here.
Ooh, DLC is getting stunned up by the Sejuani as well as Dylan wailing on him. And he is not long for this world. Tries to use Q to heal up, but it is 5v1. And Season 8 DLC gets shut down. That is 450 gold into Gaudier's pockets. But that means Guardian Esports can just push on this secondary turret.
No,
the Gangplank
not
ult is
really.
going to clear the wave, though, so that is bought a lot of time. And now Schism, they're going to turn on Baron. And none of Guardian Esports are here to respond. This is an incredible play by them, and they're able to get this. It can buy them so much time. Taking a long time for them to take it, though. And here comes Barracuda.
Gonna be able to get his eyes in, has
They're
vision,
trying to delay
and they're still
the
gonna go
Baron.
for it.
Gaudier is here though. He has smite. Fed one is not here. Oh, they are turning. Pretty Boy is getting really low. Fed one is able to take down Gaudier though. And now Barracuda is falling in the back line. He gets shut down. Mr. Wish showing up very late to the fight. Season 8 DLC was not even there. But they do stop the Baron. Trading one kill over to stop the Baron, although it was Barracuda. They do get the shutdown gold. But able to buy themselves some time, and Schism, they'll take what they can get.
Yeah, so far Schism with the Gangplank, that's going to be very annoying for Guardian Esports. They're trying to make way and break these walls from SKZ, and there goes Bacon just with the most laziest ult I've ever seen in my life, you know? Just one catch barrage, it kills every single minion, like, oh, that's amazing. But either way, I believe that is their trump card, which is going to be really, it's going to work really, really well. Unless they lose out the Baron, then the Cannon Barrage is not going to be able to finish off any of those Baron minions at all. So, seems like SKZ, they still have to be careful with Guardian Esports here. They potentially could still start up the Baron for themselves as well, but Fed1 is at base right now. 3 members strong in the mid lane. They do have Mr. Wish, Pretty Boy, and EA. EA cannot be walking up alone any longer or any more around this time or state of the game right now. Everyone is, for both sides of the team, everyone is roaming around everywhere. So you don't want to get caught out again like last time, and you definitely don't want to get caught out ever, because that's just putting your team behind, and that is just completely your fault at that point. Cannon Barrage is available once again, might be used up here. Yes, it is, but that tower still looking to get chunked down a bit. There is a siege minion, and this might be an engage.
He might get caught out here under the turret, gets the black shield, so he can't be caught up there. Nice job by Pretty Boy to keep his top laner safe, but that Cannon Barrage, although it was used to clear out the mini wave, now it's not going to be available for these fights or to check the Baron. They do drop a control ward in the bottom of the pit to secure some vision. Looks like Fed1 wants to go and clear that out. Well, it will be Season 8 DLC and Pretty Boy clearing that out. Blaxican wanting to try to proc the Baron, but Season 8 DLC blocks it. So they will remain safe. They're clearing out the vision. Both teams trying to catch each other unawares. Schism is gonna have to play very carefully around vision. If they just get into a 5v5 team fight, I don't think they can win it, but if they're able to catch a key member off guard like Barracuda or Mr. Wish, they have a good chance at winning a team fight.
That they do, but it has to be played out patiently right now. The scoreboard may say otherwise, that GE is only 1 kill ahead. It is still 4 towers to 0 with the Rift taken up and the Dragon as well on the backside of GE's Guardian Esports. And right now, Fed1, he's looking at the Dragon right now, does see that Gaudier is on the top side clearing up wards, and that's just going to be Fed1 and Pretty Boy just pretty much going to solo onto this Dragon here. They don't need to contest this from the side of Schism. It's only just a Cloud Drake, so it's not that important, but the next one will probably be important, and it looks to be a Cloud Drake on the next one too, so not really much of a loss there for Schism. But regardless though, a bit of movement speed goes a long way for Guardian Esports when it comes to just getting these rotations down, especially getting those rotations into the pit, trying to clear up the wards right now. Once again, Bacon does have the cannon barrage available, so it's going to be really hard for Guardian Esports to try to push up one of these towers, and they are still going to keep on pushing one of these towers until the tower drops, because eventually it has to go down. Still 4 members strong on the top side here for SKZ. Dylan, he's still stuck on the mid. He wants to clear up that mid lane wave, but gonna maybe be forced to come to the top here very much soon.
Cannon Barrage used again to wipe out this minion wave, but again, that is a cooldown expended for the side of Schism. A relatively long one. Isn't the longest in, longest compared to most of the team, but, using that ultimate to just clear out one wave when they just gotta wait for another one, they will eventually take this tier 2 turret down.
Not just any wave, that was a siege wave as well. So maybe could have let his team try to clear out the waves, that normal one, because there wasn't any siege, and then use
they are going to face check this bush. We'll get hit by the miasma, but nothing's going to come out of it. Schism's going to back off. No, they can't fight. And now Guardian Esports, they're going to go back to clearing out vision.
Yeah, they might be able to rotate bot, or might be looking to get this Baron. It just doesn't seem like that at all right now, and Schism is playing the scaling game right now. They want their Cassio to be strong. They also want their Gangplank to be strong as well, and then they want Ikea to be able to get those crit items and the IE as a third item, because right now he's not.
They're going to start up this Baron, and Schism doesn't have any clue. They have no vision on the pit. They are starting to move over there to check it right now, but
Blast Cone available.
It's already down to half health. Gaudier has Flash, Blast Cone, and his Q available, as well as Smite. Guardian Esports recognizes this and back off. They just wanted to bait the Baron. There are some wards in the river, so they don't have complete control. Pretty Boy's Oracle lens is almost up, but Schisms has priority on mid. They just might try to push the turret. No, they will back off because Guardian Esports decides to return. But I would like to see Guardian Esports force something here. We talked about how Schism is trying to play this scaling game. You have the Cassiopeia, the Gangplank, the Xayah. They need to force a fight. They can't just let Schism scale up here. And they are back on the Baron here, trying to clear out these wards, but there's so many control wards going into this pit.
That's
Baron
a huge
down to half
barrel.
health, but Guardian Esports is starting to get low. The Sejuani ult not finding any targets, and that's 2 big ultimates now missing for Schism. And they're back to mid. They have the mid priority. They might try to take this tower. Guardian Esports is not here this time.
Yeah, Barracuda has to be careful here, though. There's only 4 members. They don't have Darius, so they have to be careful. They want to start up a fight. They're going to start up a really hard 4v5 here. Regardless, though, someone has to clear up on the bot side. I believe it has to be Barracuda, because he does have Coming to Legend to be able to roam around the map fairly easily. And he also is the only member with Teleport right now. So there's really not many choices here, but they want... and which they are doing. They're sending Mr. Wish down to the bot side just because he also needs to get items to be built up here. Now we can see the gold differences here on between the bot team, the bot laners. Obviously, Season EA is winning up against Gangplank by 400. A tremendous amount by Fed One here by 1,500 against Gaudier. And then, of course, just a little bit on the head there as well for a side of Barracuda. It seems like Casio has actually caught up, especially regardless if Barracuda is 5-2 on the board. But still, huge lead advantage for Bran here against Ikea. So that's going to be the Leandries and the Luden's Echo, which is a lot of damage. But the Devil's Blast Cone, though, I'm a bit confused on where he's trying to get with the Double Blast Cone. I know there is only one item with two needlessly large rod. I never heard of two blasting wands going into a certain item there. Maybe he's going to go half of one item and half of the other. But definitely, you know, it might be looking to be Abyssal Scepter as well for the brand.
Absolutely. Guardian Esports here now setting up their own Fnatic Deathbush. Gaudier spotting it out though with the control. That is one thing we have seen from Schism. They are doing very well battling this vision here. Now they're going to start on the Baron. Schism here does see it. They had a control ward in the pit, but this Baron is going down fast. Already down to half health. The ultimate is going to come out from Gangplank. Gaudier, is he able to steal this? He jumps in, and no, Mr. Wish picks it up instead. Pretty Boy has to use the stopwatch, and Season 8 DLC takes out Gaudier. T-Loon is not long for this world either. Bacon is getting low, but Season 8 DLC might just get turned on. Ikea does have a lot of damage, but Fed One is just going to jump on him, and now he was looking on Bacon. He has the red buff. Bacon is low. He's in trouble. Fed One slows him with the W, jumps on top of him. Auto attack, and a triple kill for Fed One. He is fed indeed. 4-1-7. That is the ace and the Baron for Guardian Esports. And now they might just push for the win. Barracuda is still at full health. Season 8 TLC is just going to tank this up, but I don't know, he's getting pretty low. They might just jungle the aggro though. Fed One now taking it up. They are going to wait for their minion wave, buff it up. Rakan is alive. 3 seconds on Gaudier. I think they're just going to settle for an inhibitor and try to back off. But a great Baron bait and turnaround there from Guardian Esports.
Finally, we were seeing a Baron fight for like the longest time. Not Baron fight, sorry, a dance rather, onto the Baron pit for such a long time. That was the longest dance of my life. I don't even know how to dance in real life, and I don't even feel like dancing or learning how to anymore. It seems like it takes way too long to get anything done with dancing. So,
but now Schism is coming down to the Cloud Drake, and there's only 2 members here of Guardian Esports. Pretty Boy might get flash up, use the Black Shield, doesn't have the flash available. I think he's just gonna go down, uses the ultimate, but gets charmed up by Rakan, and Ikea gets the kill.
Not
unfortunate
all but
for him. But they did secure the Drake. That is just 1 kill, no shutdown gold going over either. Actually, Pretty Boy isn't worth much gold at all, so just a little bit of a consolation prize there for Ikea. He has finished his 2 items now, Storm Razor and Rapid Fire Cannon. Still working on that Trinity, no, not Trinity, Infinity Edge first. Is still quite a bit of gold away from that.
Not all was lost there, losing out Pretty Boy. Pretty Boy is just going to be dead for just a little bit, and still, I think it was a pretty good trade. They do like the Cloud Drake right now, especially with 2 Cloud Drakes on them. That means Pretty Boy is going to be able to get on the Rift a lot quicker, and along with the team as well, and maybe even get a bit closer to the enemy team to get those Dark Bindings down. Cannon Barrage is available. There goes the minions being buffed up. I don't think Mr. Wish has it because he did die at the Baron Pit, and this is not barrage worthy at all. It was just 1 minion, but that 1 minion was good enough to reduce the resistance of that tower to take it down. But now, since the Cannon Barrage was saved up for this second time around, we might see the Cannon Barrage very much soon. It is on a siege wave, so it's going to be pretty hard to take it down. And like also I mentioned before, the Baron buff as well on top of that. And now this is GE knocking on SKZ's door right now.
Guardian Esports wanting to go up here. Nice binding landed on Gaudier, and he's just gonna get popped. The ultimate coming out from Mr. Wish is just destroying Schism. Ikea is next. Fed One is in the turret. He's taking shots, but he doesn't need to get low. But Fed One is just gonna jump on D-Loon, and he's gonna go pop as well. And Fed One unstoppable now, 5-1, and Mr. Wish, it just destroyed that team there with his ultimate bounce to nearly every member on the team. Bacon is the only one left alive, but he might not even be alive for long. Gets hit by Mr. Wish's W, and Mr. Wish is going to pick up the ace. That's the Nexus turret down. That's the Nexus going down. And Guardian Esports saying, hey, we do not belong 7th place. We are here to play, turning the series around 2-1 against the 2nd place Schism Esports.
No way that they won that at all. I love you guys so much from both teams, though. I love both teams equally. But GE just coming up, I put a fake 3 right there. So it wasn't a 3-1. It was a 2-1. And Guardian Esports, they come out on top, and I'm happy for them because they also struggled. They had so many struggles with the roster, like I mentioned before, and they just came back on top. They are from the bottom, and now they have made it to at least for the 6th place, unless Cynical Esports loses, but they had a free win tonight because obviously I don't even want to speak about this, but I'm gonna have to anyway. VPS is no longer with us, guys, so sort of sucks, Cynical Esports gets their free win, but also they might be having troubles with their with their roster as well. I'm not sure if they've actually finally completed the roster after losing Kijo, Long Kitty, and I don't know if Kijo and Long Kitty are the same person, and Erotas, though, because that is sort of bad for Cynical Esports. Those 3 players were pretty dang good. They actually were the main carries for the team. It was a little bit sad that they had to leave, but it is okay. Cynical Esports, I believe they did build up again. I'm not sure. No one has actually told me anything about their roster, how it's looking, and is it still a good Cynical Esports roster? But regardless, though, that is a well win for Guardian Esports. Now, what did I say was gonna happen? So Schism Esports, not all but bad. They go potentially on the 5th or 4th, as I said right before.
You said if that Schism lost here, and I believe if FSG went 2-0, that Schism would drop down to like 6th place. Was your words?
Yeah. Okay. So Schism.
Not mine. Not my words.
All right. So all right. So we're quoting on someone here.
Nah, it's you. You're taking responsibility.
I'll take responsibility. So Schism Esports, after tonight, they will go on a series win of still with the 2 and a series loss of a 2, and their game win will go up to a 5, but their loss on the game losses will go up to 4, so they'll be 5-4, 2-2, and then Guardian Esports, they move up their first win of the series, going up to 1-3. Cynical Esports obviously got a free win, so I don't know if it's updated, but if it's not updated, then they go 2-2, and they're actually above Schism Esports. So yeah, that's looking to be 5th place for Schism Esports until we see the results tomorrow.
Wait, is this a best of 3?
No, it's a best of a best of 3. Yes.
Really?
Why'd you say best of 5? I'm so confused. Now, those were your words.
It was best of 5.
Those were your words, all right? Best of 5 were your words, not mine.
I could have sworn this was a best of 5.
No, you're so confused right now. Oh man, GG's
I'm so sad.
Thank you, Holy, for the GGs. If you haven't followed,
I'm
follow
sorry,
now.
chat. I lied to you.
If you haven't followed, follow now. If you're interested in subscribing, I believe Twitch Prime still gives out free subscriptions, so subscribe. If you haven't given out bits, think about giving out bits later on or soon enough, or it don't matter. I like to just say thank you all for watching tonight's game. Tonight was just so insane. I can't believe Guardian Esports won, especially with the new rosters, and everyone on the ABL Discord knows about it. And for those of you that want to become fans or that want to join up with ABL, hit us up down here below at the bottom. Become a fan today. Join us on Discord. And basically, and if you can't find our Discord link, I'm pretty sure you can go to our website here under the About Us. You can watch the news, player stats, team schedules, and much more, along with the famous news, right? The famous news articles on the ABLseries.com. Pretty good, pretty solid. But regardless, such a hype game, such a hype mode game. Audio Adrenaline, do you have any last words to say before we close out the stream?
I don't even know what's going on right now. I don't know where I am. I could have sworn it was best of 5. Although that is a little disappointing. It was still a great series while it lasted. I will most likely be back here tomorrow with Fridge casting for you guys. So make sure to tune in. Same time, same place tomorrow. We're gonna have another great series for you guys. Thanks to everybody who watched. I saw we had some new people in the chat tonight. Welcome. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. But yeah, that's all from me.
As all for Audio Adrenaline, he was your play-by-play caster for tonight, and this has been Mighty Rye, color caster, head caster, and your streamer of these games as well. Not just streamer, but also overlay designs and all the other designs. And where's the interview? I don't know where the interview is. Should we even get an interview? Because I'm already started closing out. But let's get, okay, how about a quick interview, right? Quick interview. No.
Sure. I don't have questions prepared, but sure, we can wing it.
I don't have questions either. I'm asking for a quickening with the console. Oh, that was weird. I DM'd Pretty Boy really weirdly. We get... Oh, welcome, Black Hat 18X. First time I've seen you here. Welcome, welcome. Oh my god, please.
Are we interviewing someone?
I don't know.
We don't know what's going on here. Chat, your guys' guess is as good as ours. We don't actually know what happens at the ABL. We just kind of show up and talk about League, I guess.
All right, Fed1, join any channel on the ABL so I can pull you in. Oh, okay. Black Hat 18X is Pretty Boy. Hello, Pretty Boy. Thank you for joining in on the ABL Twitch channel. I need more viewers. I need more fans. I need more love from all you people.
Is my love not enough for you?
What? You're only one viewer. All right, I'm bringing up Fed. Hello, Fred. Hello. You are muted. I'm about to unmute you. All right, unpunished. What is up?
Hello.
Yeah, so who else can I get? Is Barracuda wants to be up here? No, he just left.
He just dipped out.
All right.
I think we're all right with just Fed one here.
Oh, the MVP. Wait, we didn't give out MVPs, but I want to.
Well,
just...
if Fed one's right here, it has to be him, you know, definitely.
No
other option.
No other option. By default. Even though if you did bad, by default, you get it.
Yeah, you trying to say something?
Oh, look, there he
trying to
is.
say the bad man?
There we go. Barracuda's here. All right. Now we got two boys. Pretty Boy barely told me yes, but it looks like I'm gonna actually just deny him now because Max is two interviewees.
The boys.
The boys. Yeah. All right. So, let's go. So, how do you guys feel winning against SKZ, especially with the new roster? Mainly Barracuda. Mainly Barracuda. He's the team captain, I believe, right?
Yeah.
You gonna say anything, man, or what? All right, I'll say it for him.
Yeah.
What are you talking about saying for me, bro? No. Hold on. Nah, cause we yeah. You already know it. So we've been building. Yo, can you guys not hear me?
I can
We
hear
can
you.
hear you.
Yep.
No,
We
we
hear you.
can't.
We can hear you.
Yo.
No longer hear you.
This is the worst interview ever.
This is why this is why I can't have stream on and then hear mad different shit. That's 100% my fault. I'm so out of it. All right, check this out though. We've been doing mad scrims and shit. Obviously rebuilding the team, trying to fix a lot of what was going on earlier in the season. We had a lot of bad eggs that just with the team didn't mesh. It just was a bad environment. So pretty much remade the entire roster.
Hey, don't forget I played 3 different roles.
Yeah. You're not bored. Anyway.
Thanks, man.
So, honestly though, everyone here just continued to improve. We've only been in team for maybe 3-4 weeks now. Not even 4 weeks, 3 weeks, and everyone here showed an intense amount of improvement. We're all playing, our very best. We are extremely competitive. We're extremely hungry, and not only that, we kind of want to wipe out all the shit that happened in the first 2 weeks. Don't even want to think about it. Don't want to look at it. We're all about what we are now and what we're going to be ahead of time. So
I do want to say, speaking of scrimmages, since you guys have a brand new roster, how often do you guys scrim? And
Almost every day.
almost
If like
every day.
quite literally every
Oh,
practice is a scrim.
you
I try
guys,
to get a scrim every practice.
you guys live in a big man cave or together or something, man. Like you guys quit your jobs or something. You just decide to all just scrim every single day.
It's only like a scrim or two a night. Like a best of three
Oh,
every night that we can. That's about it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then we'll have either we'll do a lot of discussions just like over Discord or something like that. Just something simple, just we're staying up to date, doing what we can, and trying our best.
this.
Go ahead, Fed.
I was gonna say in response to what Mighty Rice said, I did actually quit my job, so I can improve the league.
Oh,
Pog champ.
Wow, that is
Gotcha.
dedication.
dedication. You're gonna be a pro, and then when you become a pro, you're gonna have to give me a shout out.
Oh, I'm sure I will.
Yeah, hell's yeah. That's what I want to hear. Do you guys scrim with people in the ABL or just also like any other league out there as well? And how would you compare those teams outside of the ABL league compared to the leagues in the ABL?
Yo, real quick. Wait, repeat that.
Oh,
Out of it.
like when you guys scrim, do you guys scrim with the teams that are here in the ABL or outside? And if you do scrim with other teams outside, how would you compare those teams to the ABL here?
Most of the teams we scrimmed have been from ABL. If we scrimmed any other team, it was usually just like from coaches. Like coaches would say, "Hey, like we got a team. If you're willing to scrim, so we'll do it." But honestly, most of our competition comes from ABL. We try to get a good feel of our competition here, and kind of see where we measure up. Also, to answer Wired Sponge's question, because I saw it on chat. Um, I mean, honestly, right now, I don't think we have a problem facing any team. We've been able to compete with everything. I believe in our first week as a team, we played against FSG, and we were still kind of trying to figure things out. So I don't really take too much away from that game. I think right now it's been 2 weeks. We're a lot better team, and I think we did be able to give them a lot better of a competition. Um, so in terms of that, we don't care who we play. We don't care competition wise. We're here to play the best, here to be the best. That's really all that matters.
That's good. That's a lot of confidence, and it goes a long way always because that's what keeps the team together instead of these non-confident, non-morale kind of deal. You know what I mean? You want to keep that morale always, and because of what you guys did today, it was honestly an uphill battle because that's your first win within the ABL because of all the other things that happened that we will still not talk about. But I'm so glad that you guys actually came around now. And even if you guys still lost, your performance tonight was still one of the amazing performances I've seen from you guys so far. So it's really looking great for your side. And since SKZ is out, let me go ahead and look at the schedule here. Hold on. Okay, so next week you guys will be going against Team Cerberus. So what do you guys feel on your next composition? I mean, since you guys beat Schism Esports, who are a three-way tie with Conqueror Gaming, Schism Esports, and Team Cerberus for second place, how do you guys feel more or less on what you think how you think how the difficulty is between the number 1 through 10 to go against Team Cerberus?
Go ahead, Fed.
Did we scrim Cerberus? Did we?
We played just about every team except for what is it, GBM or whatever?
EGM?
EGM, yeah.
If I recall, when we scrimmed Cerberus, we did win.
The only team we've actually taken an L from so far is FSG.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm personally not afraid of any team in the league. So I'd be perfectly fine going up against Cerberus right now.
Oh,
tonight,
right now?
and,
All right.
So yeah, right now.
I guess we're going for the best of 6 audio.
For sure. For sure.
That's too many. 3 is not enough, but 6 is too many.
All right, so you heard it from You heard from Fed one, and I guess a little bit of Barracuda, I guess. I mean, you didn't say it, but either way, I'm going to pin you both on it. Anyways, Guardian Esports versus Team Cerberus. Guardian Esports is not afraid to go against them. If they could go against them tonight, they would, but we're going to have to wait until next week when that happens. Let's see what actually really happens tomorrow, though, because Team Cerberus will go against Team Enigma, fighting for number 1 seed, I believe, or at least to bring 1L to Team Enigma, and if they don't, then honestly, that might be free. No, I'm not gonna say it's free. It can't be that free. I mean, if Team Cerberus and Schism Esports were like a little bit on the same level, we might see another 2-1. Either you guys take the first win or a reverse sweep.
What are you talking about for next game?
Next game.
I mean, I'm to be honest, I'm upset we even lost one game today. We played the first game like crap. It wasn't even a comp we were really sure of, or we wasn't like towards our kind of like our play style. It's too passive, too laid back. When we're playing the more competitive upfront games, when we're really pushing the pressure around the map like we did in games 2 and 3, it becomes much more favorable for us. And if we stick to our game plan, continue to do what we want to do, continue to focus on our win conditions, and really put out in the games, I don't think we'll have a single issue.
One last question. One last question before I close out. Why didn't EA take teleport on Darius game 3?
He's got bigger balls than anybody.
Basically that.
That is the correct answer.
That is the correct answer. Holy crap. All right. Jeez. Okay. I was trying to make this stream Christian like.
In all seriousness, he prefers to play that very aggressive play style. And that's what we want him to do in that kind of a situation. He's playing against a gangplank where if we apply the pressure really hard early on, someone like Darius who takes flash ghosts, things of that nature, it really puts us in a good advantage. And league nowadays is, you play the first 8 minutes. If you've got a lead and you know how to stretch that lead and continue to keep going, game's pretty much yours as long as you're playing correctly macro-wise, making the right calls, making the right decisions, playing the map well, then the games pretty much get easy from there.
Taking the words right out of my mouth, man. That's really good. I really like that kind of impression. I wanted to hear the ballsy play that EA did when he took up that ghost with the flash, which is amazing because Gangplank, he's a slippery target, and he can eat an orange, have a move speed, but when you have someone just running as fast as you are, there's no way of getting out of that. But so much confidence from EA. Any last words from both of you before we close out the stream here very much soon?
Nothing. Just can't wait to keep playing. I want the competition to keep coming. I expect to get as far as possible in this.
All right. So thank you both for joining us here. Sorry, Fed. Go for it.
I was gonna say, yeah, I got nothing to say either.
Oh, okay. So Fed says, good night to every one of you. So does Barracuda as well. Thank you both for joining us here on the interview. On the caster desk, and audio journalist still doesn't have anything to say. So we all thank you all for watching. Catch us again tomorrow on both ABL Series 1 and 2. Both streams will be streaming live on the games. And if you don't know the scheduling is down below up on the About Us. Click there for the website or join us on Discord. We do make announcements when the streams are live. And you all have a great night and also a great Tuesday as well for those of you that are going to be working hard. So good night.